Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Wembley Stadium. The game live coming to you from Wembley. It's Liverpool against Manchester City in the FA Community Shield. And this really is a great occasion. This is when the football season has truly come back off the scale. It's great to be back now covering top level football. It was great to do the Football League yesterday. Great game against between Nottingham Forest and West Brom in the Championship. But this is where the big guns now come into play, as Liverpool and Manchester City complete their final build-up to the Premier League season, which kicks off on Friday. Liverpool against Norwich is the first game of the Premier League from Anfield, and we'll be able to bring you that one live on Twitch on Friday night. So that will be live only on Twitch on Friday night, so we can confirm that Liverpool-Norwich will be live. Today we follow Liverpool and Manchester City to Wembley. They're just singing in the background at the moment, the choirs of respective teams. Liverpool at the moment, we're just waiting on the team's arrival. Of course, during the afternoon we'll keep you up to date with the latest score in the First Ashes Test, of course, up at Edgbaston. And let's give you our latest score. 298 for 4 now, Australia. Steve Smith is still has scored a century in that game. In fact, let me give you the full scorecard of this second innings. Remember, England earlier, Australia batted back all the way back on Thursday, scored 284. England in reply got 374. And they had a lead at 90 at that point, but obviously Australia now a 209 run, and the scary thing about it from an English point of view is that Australia have still 6 wickets in hand. So this is the scorecard at the moment for Australia in their second innings. Bancroft caught Butler, bowled Moeen Ali for 7. David Warner caught Johnny Bairstow, bowled Stuart Broad for 8. Khawaja scored 40 before being caught off the bowling of Ben Stokes by Johnny Bairstow. Smith is still unbeaten on 128. Travis Head went for 51, caught Bairstow, bowled Stokes, and Wade, the new batsman, is currently not out 53. There have been 13 extras, and now the score has actually gone up to 300 now for 4 at this moment in time. And Anderson is not bowling, by the way, for England, which is a bit of a worry, that is for sure. So as I said, we'll keep you updated during the Community Shield on the first Test match, but it looks as if at the moment, and looking the way the game's panning out up there, could well be going Australia's way. But what way is this Community Shield going to go to later on? Who knows? But Manchester City and Liverpool, the two big teams from last year. Liverpool, of course, winning the European Cup last season, and Manchester City the domestic treble when they took the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, and the Premier League title home with them. It's a fascinating confrontation. The champions of England against the champions of Europe, and it's going to be an explosive start to the new season. And this is our third match in the JB Claret series. Series of live games, which we hope to hit over 100 this season, with 4 commentators now to our name. There's of course myself and Chris Whiteman, who will be hopefully introduced next week. And then there's the return, and then also making his return later on in the month we'll have Ross Vernon, and then making his debut hopefully next week we'll have Mark Hardiman as well. So plenty of great football to look forward to as the two teams are in the tunnel. Look all relaxed and smiles. And of course, if you haven't got Twitch and you would like to listen back to the live broadcast this evening or later on this afternoon, once the game is over and the presentations are done, and you'll be able to see that live. You'll be able to see the old broadcast back on YouTube. Well, usually at these Wembley occasions, managers are suited and booted, but for Messrs Klopp and Guardiola, it's all a case of smart casual today. So certainly a real case of smart casual, as Liverpool led out there by the captain Jordan Henderson. Of course, Manchester City have got a new captain as well. No Vincent Kompany. He's taking charge at gone back to Belgium to take charge of Anderlecht, I believe. But these two teams obviously hungry as ever. I don't think there's much doubt about that. Now, one or two surprise changes in goal, certainly for Manchester City, but we'll bring you the team news in just a second, because the teams are just about to come out of the tunnel here at Wembley Stadium this afternoon, and there'll be a big crowd that's waiting for them now. And there they are, Jurgen Klopp on the right, sporting a baseball cap a la Tony Pulis, and a t-shirt, no suit for him either, but the Community Shield. The Great Curtain Raiser used to be known as the Charity Shield, and the proceeds from gate receipts and the game goes to all the communities, the football communities at grassroots level, and helps to grow the game here at grassroots level, which we need more. I think there needs more money come down. I think the Premier League, I believe, should be doing more at grassroots level to promote the game. The teams are out onto the field, and this really heralds the start of the big time season. Greg Gart there, the chairman of the Football Association, there is leading the presentation party, which is led there by Jordan Henderson, representative of course from the sponsors McDonald's as well. And we're going to have the presentation, then the national anthems. So Jordan Henderson going through there. Mo Salah fit to play, Bobby Firmino back from injury as well. Divock Origi will form that three-man attack as well. No place in the 11 there for obviously Mane, who's obviously injured. Alisson, who made such a difference in that goal. And there's Jurgen Klopp, the charismatic manager. And the referee today, Martin Atkinson. And his two assistants there, Sean Massey and Dan Cook. What a day for Sean Massey, of course. Sean Massey Ellis, to give her a full name, because she got married, of course. But I keep beginning to Sean Massey Ellis, because she got married, of course, a few years back in Manchester City. Claudio Bravo, Kevin De Bruyne, John Stones going through the line, Craig Clark, former chairman of the Football League, incidentally, Greg Clark. Been in office now at the FA for at least 3 years, since taking over from Martin Glenn, following that humiliation by England in the European Championships 3 years ago to Iceland. Done a great job, certainly with the women's game, promoting that and making sure, and well done to the women for reaching the semi-finals, just coming up short against the US as well. And now the presentations are and now we're going to have the national anthem now, and then it'll be the start. Then it'll be the start of the Community Shield. National anthem. Beautifully sung and beautifully performed there by those two ladies. And now the choirs and the sopranos can stream away. All the confetti and the banners can now leave us and leave the field open to these players. Of course, the customary handshakes as well between the two lineups. And of course, you all want to know the important team news today, won't you? And we'll get you that straight away. And we're going to start, of course, with Liverpool, with Alisson in goal. Then it's Trent Alexander-Arnold. Joe Gomez gets the nod. Virgil van Dijk, Andy Robertson. Henderson leads the side. Fabinho, Ronaldo, and a front three of Mo Salah, Roberto Firmino, and Divock Origi, of course, scored the second and decisive goal in the European Cup final in June. On the bench, Mignolet, Lovren, Matip, Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Adam Lallana, and Xherdan Shaqiri. Manchester City lineup with Claudio Bravo in goal, preferred to Ederson, who's on the bench. And then it's Kyle Walker, John Stones, Nicholas Otamendi and Alexander Zinchenko. And then it's Kevin De Bruyne. Number 16 is Rodri Hernandez. David Silva now is the new captain, taking over from Vincent Kompany. Then his namesake Bernardo Silva, Raheem Sterling and Leroy Sané. On the bench, a few surprises there. Ederson, Garcia, Eric Garcia, Angelino, Gundogan, Phil Foden, Gabriel Jesus, and the most surprising one of mission, Sergio Aguero. And Liverpool are going to play that 4-3-3 that's served them so well over the last 2 years, winning them the European Cup and almost winning them the league last season. And City going the same with Rodri anchoring that three-man midfield with Silva on the left and De Bruyne on the right. And Sterling's going to play up front virtually as a centre forward. Oh no, he's more renowned as a wide man, and he'll hope to put one over on his old club here today. Back four today of Walker, Stones, Otamendi. They're the two centre backs incidentally, and Zinchenko at left back. So, and we've gone through the substitutes. Player of the year by his fellow professionals. I've just seen there, Virgil van Dijk. Very rare you see a defender win that Players Award. And Rodri, £62.8 million he cost, Rodri Hernandez, and he looks a real steal there. There's Jurgen Klopp, and he looks very relaxed today. He hasn't got a good record at Wembley, incidentally, Jurgen Klopp. He's not won there before as a manager, either with Liverpool or Borussia Dortmund. Pep Guardiola's won plenty of times here. Won twice here last year in the Carabao final and the FA Cup final, 6-0, remember, against Watford. The referee today comes from West Yorkshire, Martin Atkinson. The two assistants, Sean Massey from Birmingham, Dan Cup from Hampshire. Stuart Atwell also comes from Birmingham, and the VAR referee, should we need him, is Anthony Taylor from Wythenshawe in Greater Manchester as Liverpool get us away, attacking the goal to our left, where all the Manchester City fans are based. And Manchester City in sky blue as well. They're going to go to the right, and in traditional strips as well. They're not in their new actual strip that they'll be playing in the Premier League, but they're playing in old style City shirts that certainly a throwback to the late 60s, early 70s. So the Community Shield on the way. The long ball forward looking towards Salah on the far side, but it's well cut out there by the new boy, number 16, Rodri. And it'll be a test now for the two new centre-backs. Stones almost getting into trouble there, and Divock Origi was right onto it and was close at hand as Kyle Walker comes charging forward down the right-hand side here for Manchester City. Trying to get Sterling in behind, but away by Joe Gomez, only as far as Alisson, who gets it away right-footed. Over the halfway line it goes, looking for Mo Salah that time, and then the ball is hooked back, and Claudio Bravo, interestingly, getting a nod here today. Of course, Manchester City last season won all four of the domestic trophies they were to win. Of course, they won the Community Shield a year ago, beating Chelsea. And then, of course, they beat the same opposition in the Carabao Cup. Won the Premier League and then completed the quadruple, if you like, by beating Watford here in May 6-0 in one of the most one-sided FA Cup finals I think I've ever seen, or even had the audacity to commentate on. But they were very impressive. If Liverpool were to win today, it would be Jurgen Klopp's first ever win. He's lost a couple of League Cup finals, and he lost the European Cup final back in 2013. You remember with Borussia Dortmund when they were beaten in the last seconds by Bayern Munich and Iron Robin. And remember, if you've got a comment, you want to have a comment section is open for business. And of course, we'll have the JB Man in the Match award vote, of course, around about the 65th minute mark. Just to remind you of the rules of the Community Shield, while Robertson takes a throwing down in line with his own 6-yard box on the near side. Just to remind you of the rules of the Community Shield, if it's level after 90 minutes, no extra time. No extra time. Significantly, we go straight to a penalty competition if it was to end level, which, considering the grueling schedule that these two teams are going to have, especially Liverpool now, because they're going to be involved in anything up to 6 competitions this season, I think will be a relief. I don't think anyone wants to play extra time. Certainly on a day like today, it's very humid and very, very warm. The sun but it is a bit overcast as the long ball is swept forward towards the far side that time, and it was kept in now. Zinchenko takes it up, and now a chance here for a cross maybe from Sane, but it's knocked away again. Zinchenko now brings John Stones into it. Back to his centre half, Nicolas Otamendi out towards the right hand side. Walker just tried to leave it for Bernardo, but they weren't on the same wavelength for them, and Liverpool were able to intercept. Robertson gets it away from the left-hand side, headed away by Otamendi, the Argentine. Now Joe Gomez. Oh, he's dispossessed here, and a chance here for Sterling makes a break, and a chance here for Sané. Signetti as he cut in from the right-hand side. Big opportunity there for Leroy Sané to really make it pay here. Big mistake here by Joe Gomez. Preferred, of course, to Dejan Lovren in the starting lineup. Dawdled on the ball. Sterling did well there, won the ball. And maybe the angle just died a bit on Sané as he closed in on goal. Mind you, Alisson coming out like a train to narrow the angles didn't help his cause. And at the other end here, it's Divock Origi here for Liverpool on the left-hand side. Origi just holds the ball up. Looks to get the ball into the penalty area. Well dealt with there by John Stones inside the City penalty area. Now Gomez. Real opportunity to return himself maybe with a cross. And he looks to find Origi, but the ball is beating him out of play on the near side, and a goal kick to Liverpool, to Manchester City. 4 and a bit minutes, just over 4 minutes gone. Liverpool 0, Manchester City 0. But the first chance of the game fell for Leroy Sané. Hits it with his left foot, but as I said, the angle was way too acute. And in the end it went well wide of the target. Here's Claudio Bravo now in goal for Manchester City. Back to Otamendi. And here's a chance now for Rodri Hernandez. That £62 million signing. He's under a lot of pressure here at the moment. Zinchenko's has got back rapidly to help him out and did really well. And of course we'll keep you abreast with the cricket, of course. The first Ashes test between the new cricket world champions England and of course the Aussies at Edgbaston. Australia got a stranglehold on that first test. We'll bring you the latest score in a minute. Here's a chance now for Liverpool, and the shot coming in on the turn by Bobby Firmino there, just to the right of the D. Hit it terrifically well on his left peg. First touch to control it, then he turned. Good control there on his right foot, gets it onto his left and half volleys it, but it's straight down Bravo's throat. And both teams have had an opportunity each. Don't think this Community Shield is going to end goalless today, I don't think, if the attitude of both teams are right and they look as if they're going to attack each other. That's the good news. Of course, there's been in the league games between these two last season. Liverpool didn't win any of them as Sane goes forward down the left hand side for Manchester City. Ball played back across and it's hit Joe Gomez. Goes away for a City throw-in. It's a whole action start here at Wembley today. 5 minutes gone, still 0-0. And the two league meetings between the two sides, it was basically one goal in it. It was 0-0 in the first game in Anfield, you may remember, and Mahrez missed a penalty. And then in the second game, just into the new year, 6 months ago, Liverpool were denied a goal by a millimetre by Hawkeye, and City went on to win the game 2-1. Meanwhile, Bernardo has had a shot and won a corner. And now an opportunity now for Manchester City now. Their first corner of the game. Kevin De Bruyne is going to take it. The Belgian international. It's not quite a full house. There's a few empty seats in the top tier of the stand here at Wembley. Stones and Otamendi just plotting who's going to go where. De Bruyne now with a corner, right-footed towards the far post. It missed everybody in the penalty area as it happened, and it's gone out for a throw to Liverpool and level with their own 6-yard line. That was a bit of a disappointing end there. 7 minutes gone. Liverpool 0, Manchester City 0. But both teams have had a chance apiece. Sane for City coming close, and Bobby Firmino half volleying, which went down the goalkeeper's throat. This 2019 FA Community Shield, sponsored by McDonald's, as the ball comes forward again from Liverpool. Well dealt with by City, and then the ball ushered back. A couple of bounces, and Claudio Bravo's got that. And the ball comes away. Can we talk about the game, please? As here's a chance now for Firmino. Chance here for Salah, who shoots. Oh, and it's just wide of the target. Good play again. Really good football this by Liverpool. City giving the ball away rather cheaply. Origi involved, Firmino to the far side, and well, Salah wasn't picked up there, and well, I suppose that's early season finishing. They're both still trying to get sharp for the new season, which starts in a week's time. No, I'm here to talk about the game, not to talk about that, I'm afraid. The ball, long ball forward, and it's going to be Alexander-Arnold here in trouble. And we've got a problem here. There's an injury down there. Number 19, Leroy Sané, is in a little bit of discomfort. There's Edison. No doubt he'll get the shirt for the Premier League campaign, which starts, of course, next week. Well, I'm here to commentate on the game, not to answer ridiculous questions, but there we go. Oh, he's going awkwardly there. If you must know, I'm watching it via I've got BT Sport, and I'm watching it via BT Sport because I've got BT as my internet supplier. Well, that's. And I am. Well, that's your opinion. If you don't like it, go away. I enjoy doing it, and I do enjoy it. I'm only on Twitch because I'm off YouTube at the moment. Once I'm back on YouTube, you'll be glad to see the back of me. Anyway, 0-0 here. Top man, that's all I wanted to know. Look, there's no animosity between us. I just want to get on with the commentary. You can comment as much as you want, but let's try and keep the comments to the games. There's too many people asking daft questions sometimes about me and all like that. I'm here to do the game and give people an opportunity. And there's also a lot of people that are blind as well that rely on my commentaries, some of them, for everything as well. So I do it because there's people there, and obviously they don't cater people. All the big stations don't really cater really for the blind or give a description enough commentary for blind people, which I think is sad, really. Yeah, Liverpool to win 2-1. Well, I have to say, both teams. You're not, by the way, whilst I'm talking to you, you're not missing any of the action. We're going to just check in with the cricket at the moment while we've got a break in play. So we're going to just keep you up to date with the latest. I'm sure there's a lot of cricket fans that tune in as we just see a couple of City players warming up, but I don't think Leroy Sané is going to be going out for too long. It's currently now 324 for 4, which gives England a 234 run deficit, and the unfortunate thing is Joe Root is not taking the new ball here by some reason. Well, there's a free kick coming in as that ball is threaded in towards the back post. Chances inside the penalty area. Sterling shoots, and Alisson has created a mistake. And City have scored inside the 6-yard box. Raheem Sterling didn't hit it so well with his left foot. It was a very tame shot. And Alisson, the ball must have bounced or bobbled in front of him. He mishandled the ball, and the ball trickled over the line. And Manchester City, the English champions, lead the European champions Liverpool by 1-0. It was a well-worked free kick. Liverpool were very, very slow to respond as that ball was played into the penalty area, headed back across by Zinchenko, and Sterling's shot, well, that's got to go down to me as a goalkeeping error. There's the ball played in by David Silva. Oh, still, well, the goalkeeper's made an absolute hash of that, hasn't he? As I'd say, it comes off his leg, off his arm, off his thumb, and he makes an absolute hash of that, and it's gone in the back of the net. So that left foot of Sterling gives Liverpool gives Man City the lead, rather, and he scored against his old club. And there we go. Just I was about to bring you up to date with the cricket. Man City go and score from a set piece. I told you it was not going to be 0-0, wasn't I? Anyway, here's Robertson now for Liverpool. 1-0 down. And just to confirm, Sani has gone off and Gabriel Jesus is now on. So that's the substitution issue cleared up, and as soon as we get a breaking play, we'll talk to you more. We'll bring you up to date with the cricket. But Steve Smith, sadly for England, is still in at the moment. So too is Matt Wade at the moment, and that's not good news for any English cricketing fans. So so 50 for Wade. Smith has hit his second century of the match, and it's not looking very good at the moment. Wade is currently on 69. Smith just 9 short of his 150 at the moment. 329 for 4 is the latest up at Edgbaston in Birmingham. Meanwhile, here at Wembley, it's a chance here for De Bruyne, playing the ball back across and away by Virgil van Dijk this time. But here comes Rodri now to bring the ball forward, the £62 million man. Liverpool really haven't significantly bought in the window, but here's a chance now for De Bruyne across the face, and that's better handling there by Alisson. And Sterling was close at hand as well. And City here starting really, really well. Liverpool have had a couple of chances, but it's City in front for a goalkeeping error. Just to remind you, Liverpool haven't strengthened significantly throughout the window, and if you've seen the podcast on here or YouTube the other night, you'll probably realise that I've backed them to finish only third because of the amount of games they have to play, and it doesn't look as if Jurgen Klopp has gone out there and tried to strengthen the team that he's already got, and it's a good team. I just think the squad depth might not be there for them to make anything possible there. But Pep Guardiola has also come out in the press that he wants to spend over £100 million in the next week. Of course, the window closes by the close of play, because by the time the Premier League kicks off later. And here's Mo Salah. Salah down the line. It's just gone wide. I thought it had gone in the net for a second as he ambled down the right hand side there. Got his shot off. And I just wondered then if it had gone in at all, because as we see again, I'm just seeing again, Salah gets away from Zinchenko as if he wasn't existing. And in fact, he might have hit the side of the post or the outside of the upright and bounced off. And in the end, it's a goal kick. So it still remains 1-0 to Manchester City. And here's Fabinho now taking the ball. And the ball just ushered back again. I mean, I'm very, very surprised at your comments about me as a commentator. I'm surprised. A B-Tech Alan Smith. Believe you and me, he is an analyst. He's not a proper commentator. I'm a proper commentator. I enjoy doing it, and I enjoy bringing pleasure to many. And if you look at my YouTube subscribers and followers, you'll understand why. 600 subscribers on the YouTube channel, and you'll be able to hear the game back on YouTube a bit later. And of course, we'll be back there permanently at the end of this month. So watch this space. We'll be back on YouTube, and the listeners will be coming back in their droves as well. Liverpool 0, Manchester City 1. 16 and a half minutes gone. And here's Leroy, and here's number 9, Jesus, who's just come on as a substitute. He's into the vacant left hand side, left by Sane. Good ball, and De Bruyne was almost in there. Chance for a second, and it was Sterling's shot just to the left of the 6-yard area. Hit it with his right foot rather, and it was a great save down to his right by Alisson. It was a really good piece of goalkeeping that. And now here comes Bernardo Silva back in towards Walker. Sorry, it's very hard to describe a Manchester City game without Vincent Kompany these days. He's now managing in Belgium, back at Anderlecht. Going to be a sad loss to the Premier League, Vincent Kompany. There's no two ways about that. But he'll chip out towards the far side, and look at that. Sterling gets the ball, looking to tease his man. He'll have been the goal he was scored earlier on will have given him huge satisfaction. But Alisson, who's not really made a mistake in his 12 months at the club at Anfield, He's hardly made a mistake. Oh, he's made one today at Wembley, on the biggest stages of them all. I think Stan Jurgen Klopp's appalling record at Wembley continues. Here's Bravo about 5 or 10 yards out of his penalty area there as he kicks long. Something that Liverpool may want to exploit here and try and close him down a little bit. Everybody knows City's little tactic of trying to play out from the back. One day it will see them caught out. And teams have just got to, opposition teams really have to wise up to that. Anyway, here's David Silva now. Gets his shot off left footed. It was well charged down. It comes to Raheem Sterling here, over on the far side. And Zinchenko now takes possession. He's had a good few games for Manchester City when he's had to fill in. And he's made a decent start here today. The ball is swept out towards the far near side, I should say. And Walker plays the ball in towards Bernardo. Bernardo gets a good cross in there, again looking for Sterling. But it's come out once again. Now a chance here. Match stats here just to give you a real flavour of it. 34% Liverpool, 66% Manchester City currently at the moment. And so far, Liverpool, apart from that one opportunity created by Bobby Firmino from all his own industry and hard work, with his turns and flicks and then the volley, and of course Mo Salah's shot that went into the side net, and they haven't really offered much else. City have looked strong and they've looked pretty good as well. So the current holders lead. The current holders and the champions of the Premier League lead the European Cup winners by a goal to nil. Remember, in this final, this Community Shield final, as Robertson takes possession on the far side. Ball played back once again. Van Dijk gets it out, and here's Gomez into Fabinho. And that's good football again. And Gomez once again. Robertson. Gomez has just been a little bit shy at the moment. Here's the England captain and Liverpool skipper Jordan Henderson. Jordan, exclusive club back in June when he joined the likes of Graham Souness, Emily Hughes, Phil Thompson, Steven Gerrard, and lifting all big ears. Liverpool won it for the 6th time, comfortably beating Tottenham Hotspur 2-0 in Madrid. And of course, they play in the Super Cup and play Chelsea a week on Wednesday. And there's going to be a first in that game. It's going to be the first male match that I can remember. It's going to be which is going to be officiated by all female officials. I think that's a great breakthrough for females in football as well, and they've been getting a lot of respectability, the females in football, for a number of years now, and that's good to see. Here's Mo Salah now over to the far side. Good football, and unlucky for Trent Alexander-Arnold. It was just a bit overhit the pass. Maybe they could do it with a little bit of luck, like Matt Phillips got in that game at the City Ground yesterday when West Brom beat Nottingham Forest 2-1 in that game. A game I won't remember too fondly as for the commentary, because it was a little bit on the ropey side, but I was just seeing replays of the skills there from Mohamed Salah, and then the attack broke down once Trent Alexander-Arnold got his mitts on the ball. Coming up towards the halfway mark. We're just coming up towards 21 and a half minutes. Coming up towards the halfway mark of the first half, and of course, if you joined us late, Raheem Sterling scoring the opening goal. Manchester City, a mistake by Alisson. It came from a free kick, and of course Sane has gone off and Jesus has replaced him, and Liverpool gifted Man City another throw-in deep inside the Manchester City half, and this was the opportunity for 2-0. That's a great save at diving away to his right near post. Good effort, and Alisson did well. Didn't get beaten that time, the Brazilian goalkeeper. Had a great clean sheet record as well, playing in the Copa America, which they won, which Brazil won, by the way. So he's had a terrific summer, Alisson. I won't want to remember today with any great fondness unless Liverpool come back to steal the shield in the second half. But there's quite an open game of football. Here's Divock Origi, gets the ball on the left-hand side. Here is Divock Origi, got the second goal in Madrid. Still Origi now, out to Henderson, who's just gone out to that side, but Bernardo was in there to say thank you very much, I'll have that ball, and then Henderson blocks the attempted clearance. It goes out of play and a goal kick. And of course we'll be focusing on the newly promoted side next weekend. Likes of Sheffield United, Norwich and Aston Villa starting their Premier League campaigns. Norwich away at Liverpool on Friday night. That's one of the games you can hear on the JB Twitch channel, later uploaded to YouTube, and that will be a policy that will just happen for the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season. Then it will be back on YouTube full time after that. And here's bowling from Sterling, a bit of an up and under there by Virgil van Dijk, and didn't go too far as it turned out. Been a very enjoyable first half so far, and it's been a remarkable game of football, that is for sure. But here's Robertson now going forward towards the edge of the area. It might break for Salah, but it's going to fall for Claudio Bravo inside the 6-yard area of Manchester City's, or Manchester City's rather, 6-yard area, and no danger elsewhere. Still 1-0 it remains to Manchester City. Australia have a stranglehold in that first Ashes test, and England may well have to be seriously looking out, possibly having to bat probably 3 sessions tomorrow to save the game and maybe have a draw there at Edgbaston. The way Steve Smith's going on, he could be there forever and a day, and I think Australia may well declare, maybe in a couple of hours from now, maybe an hour after tea, and then England then will have to bat 3.5 sessions to save the game. I can't see them winning the test match, not when you're batting 4th and a deteriorating wicket certainly when Nathan Lyon is spinning the ball. But that's the news on the cricket. We'll keep you up to date with any wickets that fall down as soon as we get them, and of course Rangers were winning 1-0 in their first match. Celtic won 6-0 yesterday, and of course there's Leeds as well playing away today, their first game. We're starting the playoffs in that epic semi-final you may remember against Derby County. Again, we covered on the YouTube channel. One of the more enjoyable matches we covered last year. A great open match of football. We certainly had a good one yesterday. So far we've been at Molineux and at the City Ground, and here we are at headquarters today. And the sun's just come out now. And here come Liverpool again with Mo Salah on the right hand side, the far side as I look. Still Mo Salah again, good control by him. Goes to the opposite side, and it's Jordan Henderson back to and Andy Robertson. Picked up for only £8 million from Hull. What a bargain that was from Jurgen Klopp to bring him in. But I still think he needs to spend a few quid. Jurgen, I think in the last week of that window, hasn't brought anyone in. They were having a link with Nicolas Pepe, but he's now gone to Arsenal now this week, and Arsenal might be doing a bit of business as well. In line to sign 2 new defenders, one of them being Kieran Tierney from Celtic at the moment. Manchester United look like they're going to sign Harry Maguire, which is bad news for this particular Burnley fan, because it means possibly Leicester could be going after James Tarkowski, and obviously the way Burnley have been performing this summer in the transfer window, there could be some rant videos going to be coming our way. But also that and more of the action here is Raheem Sterling, the man who scored the only goal in the game. 27 minutes almost gone, and Rodri now takes possession, finds his new colleague Raheem Sterling. Sterling gets the ball in, hooked away there by Joe Gomez this time. Now a chance now for John Stones to pick the ball up, the former Everton defender. Back to back to Kyle Walker once again. It's hard to get out that old phrase now. David Silva is the new captain, incidentally, in case you've joined us late. Bravo's kicked it right up and under, up in the air, and Divock Origi tries to get on the end of it, and he's won a possession in fact for Liverpool, but they lose possession quickly as they get there, and Bernardo now hooks it high up in the air towards halfway, and it's out of play on the halfway line, near side for a City throw-in. Just trying to nick a few yards there, City. Pep demanding more. He's one that doesn't let up in terms of his man management. If you saw that documentary they aired on Amazon Prime a couple of years ago, you'd understand why. Behind the scenes, it was a a great insight into life at the one of the biggest clubs in the country. And here goes De Bruyne down the right hand side, a little deflection on the cross, and it was hooked away. And now Robertson to bring it away on the counter attack for Liverpool down there left hand side, the near side as I look, and it's Robertson now to Divock Origi. Origi now needs support. He's got Robertson in the middle, so too Bobby Firmino. Salah is far side, towards Bobby Firmino that time, headed away by Zinchenko, comes to Salah, inside the area, stabs it goalwards with his left foot and he stabs it over, toe pokes it, stabs it over the bar, inside the penalty area, just to the right of the 6 yard, just to the right of the corner of the 6 yard area, stabs it over Bravo's crossbar, into the City fans behind that goal, and a Manchester City goal kick it is. Well, there we go. Just looking at whether there was a potential offside or not there, but it wasn't. I don't think De Bruyne was interfering with play, and it's very hard. It's going to be very hard for them to keep up a gallop on this very humidly hot weather. It's actually been quite a warm summer actually, although it has thunderstormed and rained, and there's the problem up in Derbyshire as well with the potential collapse of that reservoir. Let's hope that's not the case, otherwise one village in Derbyshire could be flooded, and that's not good news. Alisson now for Liverpool, gets the ball forward, and it's Trent Alexander-Arnold getting it down the line. Mo Salah now 10 yards inside his own half on the far side, but he's lost out again to the all-action Raheem Sterling. He's had a good first half, it's got to be said, as we come up towards the half-hour mark. And Liverpool go charging forward, and Martin Atkinson gives a free kick. Foul on Bobby Firmino, about 5 yards inside the Manchester City half, to the left of the, or to the right, sorry, of the centre circle. Sterling all-action. And then well tackled in fact by Mo Salah, although it was a little bit on the behind side, and then Sterling fouled his man. Liverpool now have possession from the quickly taken free kick. It's Jordan Henderson now. Liverpool trailing 1-0 of course. Raheem Sterling, their former player, coming back to haunt them a bit today. Been a satisfying moment for Raheem. This was the goal again. David Silva flicking it on, and there's the volley, and yeah, it just hits the legs and then comes off the arm, and it just trickles over the goal line. You don't need any VAR for that one. VAR in operation at Wembley today, and of course for the Premier League season, VAR will be involved in all 380 Premier League games, and hopefully apparently they're going to use the video screen as well, so that everyone in the stadium can see. Offside there, signalled by the far side lines person, or the assistant I should say. I can't say linesman because we've got a lady involved. Sean Massey of Birmingham is running the line on the far side, and to the near side we've got Dan Cook of Hampshire, and that is the situation at the moment. And Martin Atkinson refereeing the game okay at the moment. Fourth official, remember, Stuart Atwell, but also at Birmingham. So a couple of Brummies involved in the game today. One from West Yorkshire, one from Hampshire, and our VAR man Anthony Taylor from Wythenshawe and Greater Manchester. Goal kick to Liverpool. The Super Cup comes thick and fast. 10 days from now, Wednesday 14th of August, Liverpool-Chelsea, and that's going to be notable, as I was saying earlier, for a team of all female officials, referee and the 2 assistants. They're all going to be female. A brilliant breakthrough, and a great gesture there by UEFA to give the women officials a real chance. One or two of the women officials were a bit picky, as Liverpool on a free kick, and Kevin De Bruyne is going to receive the first yellow card of the game. Divock Origi fouled about 15 yards inside the Manchester City half of the field. It was a vicious tackle from behind by the Belgian international, so a free kick. But Liverpool going a little bit more backwards rather than forwards here from the taking of it, and I think they're just trying to build up on a patient sort of build up, as De Bruyne has now been confirmed as a yellow card, as Alexander-Arnold finds Origi in a bit of space on the left hand side, but he miscontrols the ball and it goes over the touchline on the near side for a throw, and that was a poor Poor attempt at a first touch there by Divock Origi, who does well coming on as a substitute, but I'm not sure if he's good enough as a starter. I think that's why I question Liverpool's strength in depth, really. That's why I questioned him on the commentators podcast the other night. It was live here on Twitch, but you can watch it back on Twitch if you like after the match, because it is available on here for something like 14 days and then it comes automatically off. But the podcast, should you not require Twitch, is still available on YouTube, and that is the situation. And as I say, it's fantastic at the moment. And it's been very enjoyable at the moment, I have to say. And I just want to point. I'm going to point an attention to what I was referring to earlier about commentaries and stuff. Sue, our friend from Liverpool, has been in touch. As I don't know who ban him. Who's banning? Well, you can't ban me if that's the case. I'm offering a good service here. I'm offering a service to people who have been sick to death of undescriptive commentaries for a long time. Are we going to just... Well, let's not joust to it. We're here to talk about football. Anyway, 10 minutes to go to half time. 1-0 to Manchester City. Mr. Cash Money Mums. I'm sorry, but if you're not enjoying it, just go away. You know, if you're going to comment respectfully. We're here to talk about football. We're here not to joust, and I'm your biggest fan. Right. Can we just keep the comments to the football, please? That's why we're all united here live, and then of course we'll be on YouTube a bit later on, and once my unfair ban is over, we'll be back live again on YouTube. Remember, my YouTube channel has over 600 subscribers, so I think I've built up quite a reputation over the last 3 years. Right, anyway, back to the game, and it's Manchester City on the attack now with Raheem Sterling on the far side. 1-0 they lead in the 2019 FA Community Shield, of course sponsored, as it has been for a long time now, by McDonald's. And the ball through, and it's easy there for Alisson. He made the mistake which led to the goal. Robert Sterling hit the shot inside the 6-yard area, hit it on the half volley, but it was a tame half volley, and well, Alisson will be a bit aggrieved. He's not one that makes too many mistakes, the Brazilian, but he certainly was at fault there. Right, 10 minutes to half time. The cricket, there's been a wicket, and it's the big one. Steve Smith has gone for 142, but that's the end of the good news for as far as England are concerned in the cricket. Australia now lead by over 250 runs, and it's not looking good at the moment. At the moment, Steve Smith out for 142. Tim Payne, the captain, has joined Matt Wade at the crease. He's on 5 not out. Wade himself, he's on 81, and the score now at 349 for 5 at Edgbaston. And as I say, 259 runs the lead now. And the worrying aspect for England is that they've got 5 wickets in hand, the Aussies. So not good news in the cricket. But Steve Smith has done most of the damage. 142 he made before being out, as the ball comes in from the right hand side, hooked out for a corner to Liverpool. Let's just check what's been happening over in Scotland as well. There's been some football. Of course, the SPL has been in full swing this season. Verstappen leads in the Hungarian Grand Prix, and Aberdeen lead Hearts in the Scottish Premier League. That's the latest goal, but we'll keep you up to date with that. Wizard says, "Where are my single ladies at?" I don't know who's. I don't know. We're not talking about women. We're talking about football. Here's Alexander-Arnold into the 6-yard box, but it's gone out of play over on the far side and behind for a goal kick to Manchester City. Let's just keep you updated. As I said, there was some Scottish action as well, and might as well check up on that. And Sales is moved into the lead in the British Open for women, and so let's look at what's been happening in the Scottish Premiership. Cosgrove has scored for Aberdeen, and so he's scored 1-0, 1-0 in that game. Rangers are also in action as well. That's 2-1 to Rangers against Kilmarnock. Scott Arfield scoring one of the goals in that game as well. Right, we've had 38.5 minutes gone. We're well inside the final 10 minutes here. We've had about 7.5 minutes left of the first half, plus any injury time. And just to remind anyone who's joined us late, live here on Twitch, that if it does end a draw after 90 minutes, thankfully we have no extra time to play. It will go straight to a penalty competition if it was to end level, but as De Bruyne runs through there, the flag is up offside there by Hampshire assistant Dan Cook. Free kick to Liverpool, and they get a good line there. Liverpool, as that ball was threaded through the centre towards the edge of the area. De Bruyne was onto it like a flash, but as I said, he was moving away way too soon there. And the Community Shield, not just about the two teams involved, it's also about the grassroots communities, grassroots football communities that this match generates money for. Gate receipts, of course, from this match go towards the grassroots initiative. Not enough really from the football authorities, certainly at the league level, certainly from the Football League or the Premier League. We've got an injury down here at the moment, and Martin Atkinson's felt compelled to stop it, although it's definitely not an head injury, and it's David Silva has gone down in an absolute heap here at the moment, and we're going to have a bit of treatment here. So David Silva receiving injury, has got injured, and the last thing Pep needs at the moment, Pep Guardiola that is another injury. He's already lost Leroy Sané at the start. Oof. Gomez was a little clumsy there on that tackle, but the ball was there to be won, and they both touched the ball, and I just think he went down a bit awkwardly there, David Silva. But I don't think Pep's too happy, and he's making that case there towards poor old Stuart Atwell. Divock is God, but I don't think but thankfully for Manchester City, I can understand Pep's frustration. They are taking drinks on board, and I think that's good in the summer sun. Pep's still having a few words to say on that touchline over on the far side. Referee Atkinson having a word with De Bruyne. Jurgen Klopp might want to get his troops in and give him a little bit of a pep talk, because they played okay, but they've missed a couple of good opportunities. You can forgive these players at the start because it's pre-season, but Pep's having a right go there at one or two of the City players. I don't think he's happy, and his team are winning 1-0. Well, that is unbelievable. Talk about being a perfectionist, Pep Guardiola. You can understand why the guy has won trophies everywhere he's been, and there will be that level of criticism where he's not done it at a smaller club. I mean, he had a ready-made team at Barcelona, but in Bayern Munich he added a couple of new faces. But to be fair, he's built a nice little dynasty for himself at Manchester City, and he's having he got a yellow card actually there. You can show, yellow card. So Pep Guardiola's actually been booked. He's certainly not been, well, I can understand it, but it is people say the Community Shields are pre-season friendly. It's not friendly at all. It's a very, very much a competitive game, and the Shield is always something. The Community Shield is always something for the players to win. Takes me back all these years. Almost takes me back to all those years ago with Kevin Keegan and Billy Bremner having a bit of a set to in the first Community Shield, Charity Shield as it was then at Wembley back in August '74, and that was decided on penalties. It was Leeds against Liverpool, I remember. It was also Brian Clough's first game in charge of Leeds, and we know what happened after that. Let's just keep the comments to the football, please, as Divock Origi battles for it on the far near side, and and in fact Liverpool get the decision. He won the free kick that time. So Lizard Wizard, please keep your comments clean. We're a family programme. I don't care if we're on Twitch or on YouTube. Let's keep the comments clean. We are a family show. I can't stress that enough. We are a family show, and I might have to take you off, and I don't want to do that, because comments like that a few years ago put me off actually people going on comments. Anyway, free kick. Alexander Arnold with it towards the far post, headed back across, and Bravo, safe hands, taking possession of the ball. And it remains 1-0 to Manchester City. But it's a close game. Mistake though from Allison led to the goal. England struggling in the cricket as the moment. There's the match. Well, read the title, Luke. It's an audio commentary. It's an audio commentary. I'm not showing any match footage. As we see De Bruyne knocking the ball into the penalty area towards the far side, but well kept out by Henderson. That was really good. I mean, questions like that I could do without, really, in all fairness. You know, the title of the stream would give you actually a clue there. Audio, which means sound only. Radio commentary. We don't show footage. That's why it's audio commentary, and we help the people that are less fortunate than those, like the partially sighted. That corner comes in, and again Allison didn't get a good fist inside the 6-yard area. Was lucky to get the ball in that instance, as the ball is now turned away. Gomez will get it away. Gomez knocks the ball forward, and then the ball hooked back across. Remember, this game is this commentary has been live on Twitch. It's been broadcast live on Twitch, and then later on we'll have it uploaded to YouTube, where anyone who hasn't got Twitch, who's a YouTube subscriber, and there's nearly 600 of my subscribers now on YouTube, and big thank you to each and every one of you for supporting me over the years. Be able to listen back at around about just after 6 o'clock, I think. Doesn't take long to upload once the broadcast is finished, and that's the good thing about Twitch. It's always a good thing to have. Anyway, back to the game, and it's Joe Gomez in possession for Liverpool. We'll keep you abreast with the cricket as well. We're into the first of 3 added minutes, I should say. We're going to have a 10-minute break for half time, folks. And then after that, I'll keep you updated with the Scottish scorelines and, of course, the cricket, of course, because we've just to remind you, if you haven't heard already, Steve Smith has gone for 142. But the sad news, that's the good news gone, unfortunately for England, because the bad news is England are trailing by 250 runs, and they've got about 4th on a deteriorating wicket up at Edgbaston. But if you're a Manchester City fan, life's good at the moment. 1-0 they lead. Raheem Sterling's goal early in the first half looks like settling this Community Shield at the moment, but there's still another half to go, of course. And but Liverpool have given as good as they got. But remember, this is still a warm-up game, but it's still very much a competitive game. Pep Guardiola has been booked for dissent towards 4th official Stuart Atwell. No real opportunities for VAR official Anthony Taylor to be called upon at the moment, but as soon as we get that, as soon as we get any VAR decisions, we'll bring them to you. Of course, for the season coming up, we've got Panini, aka Matt Graham, who's going to be our VAR adjudicator, and of course we've got 3 other commentators that you're going to hear from during the course of the season, certainly more so on YouTube. We'll just break off for a second. Bernardo is on the ball down the right hand side. Bernardo gets a good cross into the 6-yard area, and well, Jesus just couldn't grow enough in the end, and Liverpool scrambled away. The European champions trailing the English Premier League champions by a goal to 0 as the ball is up forward. We're into the final minute of the 3 here at Wembley Stadium, and then Otamendi gets the ball back to Bravo. Surprised to see him preferred to Edison, but Guardiola deciding to go with it. Sergio Aguero is still on the bench, incidentally. A bit of an up and under here. Gomez and Sterling battling it out here inside the Manchester City penalty area. Sterling has won it. A bit of a shirt pull there from both of them. They were pulling at each other's shirts as it happened. And the ball came away. It's still with City, but it's back on halfway now. It's Kyle Walker now for City. Out to Bernardo Silva. Silva now looking to find his name, to find De Bruyne. Can he keep it in play? He can, and the ball back across, and I think it did go out of play actually. De Bruyne just didn't quite keep it in by the byline on the right hand side. We've played almost the 3 minutes, and I think that must be that now for the end of the first half. We're now into time added on at the end of the time added on, and in fact De Bruyne was onside as the ball was played as forward, but alas he couldn't keep it in play, and there goes the half time whistle. Well, Pep Guardiola is walking off very, very angry. His team are one up. I don't understand why he's upset at all, because his team have played really well, and his temperament, I'm afraid, has not been great, but his team have been very good on the field, very disciplined. Scored the only goal early doors through Raheem Sterling on 12 minutes. Liverpool have offered quite a bit, but not as much as City have, and every time City have looked to attack, they've looked really good. Bobby Firmino and Mo Salah with the best chances as well here for Liverpool. But as we go off the field at Wembley, we're going to go off air for about 10 minutes, and then we'll be back to check on the latest scores for more around the UK, and a couple of games taking place, of course, in Scotland, and of course the first Ashes test up at Edgbaston in Birmingham between England and Australia, of course, and I'm sure you want to have a score flash from that as well. But until then, we're going to take 10 minutes, but the news here at half time. It's Manchester City leading at half-time in the Community Shield by a 1-0. Join me again after the 10-minute break. Welcome back to the Community Shield at Wembley between Manchester City and Liverpool. 1-0 to City at the break. A goal after 12 minutes from Raheem Sterling is the difference. We're just waiting for the teams to re-emerge for the second half. Meanwhile, we'll just check what's been happening elsewhere in football and, of course, in the cricket. And in fact, so let's just check what's been happening in Scotland. In fact, Bristol City, of course, play Leeds at 4:30. If there's any goals going at that point, we'll let you know. Rangers have won by 2-1 at Kilmarnock. Scott Arfield put the visitors in front. Then O'Donnell equalised for Kilmarnock on 83 minutes, and then Connor Golson scoring the winning goal there for Stephen Gerrard's Rangers. So we win, and they're off to a winning start there, Stephen Gerrard's men. Also in the Scottish Premiership, 1-0 at half time at Pittodrie to Aberdeen. Cosgrove with the goal. It gives Derek McInnes' side in the lead against Hearts, so 1-0 in that one. And some news, and for F1 fans, we've got some breaking news there. Lewis Hamilton edges out Verstappen and wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. So Lewis Hamilton winning again. Looks like it could be another World Drivers' Championship for Lewis Hamilton. And of course, in the Ashes, let's keep you abreast with what's going on in the cricket. The current score at the moment is 356 per 5. 89.2 overs have been bowled. Australia made 284 in their first innings. England replied with 374 in their first innings. But Australia have gone really well and have scored a grand total of 356, 5 wickets down. And let me just check on the scorecard. Smith out for 142. He scored the second century of the test. So let's give you the scorecard of Australia's second innings, shall we? Bancroft caught Butler, bowled Moeen for 7. Warner caught Bairstow, bowled Broad for 8. Khawaja caught Bairstow, bowled Stokes for 40. Smith caught Johnny Bairstow, bowled Wokes for 142. That's where the damage has been done. Wade is not out 86. Payne, the captain, not out 8. 15 extras, 357 for 5. And as the teams come out, we'll just give you quickly the bowling figures. Let me just give you quickly the bowling figures. Broad 18 overs, 1 wicket for 68. Folks 13 overs, 1 for 46. Moeen 24 overs, 1 for 107. Not good reading this. Root has bowled 8.5 overs, none for 34. Stokes 15 overs, probably the most better of the bowlers, 2 for 49. And Denley 11 overs, none for 46. James Anderson has got a slight niggle and is not bowling at the moment, which is a shame really. Which he could have actually been the difference between England winning and losing. Right, anyway, back to the Wembley, back to the events here at Wembley. That's all the other sport kept up to date. Hamilton has won in Hungary in the Grand Prix, and Australia in firm control of that first Ashes Test match, and England may have to bat the whole day tomorrow to save the game. Anyway, back to Wembley and the start of the second half. It's going to be Man City in that sky blue shirt and the sky blue shirts to restart the second half. 1-0 ahead in this McDonald's supported FA Community Shield, and it will be played to 90 minutes. Whatever happens, if it is a draw, we will have a penalty shootout, no extra time of course. And I just wish the UEFA Super Cup would be just the same, but anyway, back we go into the second half. 1-0, remember. The ball is now out of play. Liverpool throwing on the far side. There will be a video made about the comments section, because there was 1 or 2 comments which were very distasteful, and we don't allow for that. There was some derogatory comments made at a couple of me and a couple of contributors at the start, and Lizard Wizard's gone on to be a bit homophobic in one of his comments, I'm afraid, and I'm going to have to make a YouTube video and explain. If this happens ever again, then the comment section will be closed until further notice, until you guys can actually enjoy a commentary game without the need to make silly comments like that. I was very disappointed. Anyway, back to the game, and it's Raheem Sterling well crossing to the penalty area, and then a shot coming in from inside the area by David Silva, the new the new captain of Manchester City, hit it with the left foot just to the left of the penalty area. It just didn't. It just cleared the crossbar in the end. It bounced kindly for him, but he just couldn't keep the shot down in the end. Anyway, Ronaldo now over to the far side, and here's Andy Robertson down the left hand side. Still 1-0 to Man City. We played in 90 seconds of the second half. Right, we'll go to penalties if it's level after 90. Here's Mo Salah. Liverpool could do with a goal from him. Bobby Firmino. They have missed Sadio Mane, of course. This is the big worry. He's out for injury. Hence why he's not in the squad at the moment. And City have used one of their substitutions. Here's Salah into the penalty area. Just took it too much in there and allowed Nicolas Otamendi to sweep the ball away from Manchester City. And then the ball's bouncing around a little bit. And Liverpool trying to make something pay. And then it's a bit of an up and under. Won by Henderson. Edge of the penalty area. Chances here now. Origi will try the shot. Little deflection, but it favours Bravo. Bravo takes the ball there. He wasn't particularly well hit by Divock Origi in the end. And hit it towards the left of the penalty box. Yeah, it just hits the defender and it goes favourably into the arms of Bravo. And it remains 1-0 to City. 2.5 minutes gone here in the second half. Still 1-0 to City. That goal in 12 minutes from Raheem Sterling the difference. And David Silva down the left hand side, and the flag has stayed down because Sterling's allowed to continue, and he's hit the far post. Sean Massey kept a flag down, and Manchester City within a coat of paint of almost going 2 goals clear, and Raheem Sterling nearly had it. I have to say, I was looking, it did look suspiciously offside, and well, certainly one of them was offside, and it was certainly not well, it was certainly interfering with play. Then it should have been tagged offside. That confused me a little bit there. I just wish they make the offside laws more simplified, and that is Liverpool might have been up in arms if that had gone in, but it didn't go in. It hit the far post, it hit the right hand post, and it bounced away. And here's Henderson now, back to Firmino, back to Henderson, looking to find Origi, but back came Otamendi rather to concede a corner. Certainly a lot of sweat coming off those old style Manchester City shirts. Throw back to the late 60s, early 70s, when the likes of Francis Lee and Mike Summerby and Colin Bell and all that lot used to wear shirts just like that. Of course, this has only been, the shirts have been worn as a one-off for this Shield match, Community Shield match. They'll be in their new sprightly seasonal strips next weekend. City can start their campaign at home. No, it's away. In fact, they start their campaign on Saturday lunchtime. Against West Ham. Starts at the Etihad 2 weeks' time. Here come Liverpool now inside the penalty area. Shot comes in on the left-hand side. Was charged away. Definitely not a handball, and it's a throw into Manchester City anyway. John Stones with the block. Keita with the shot as well. Not Keita, sorry. Ronaldo, well, I should say. It's 5 minutes now exactly gone. Liverpool starting to ask 1 or 2 questions on this Manchester City backline, and they're doing so to the letter, but it's Raheem Sterling, but he's also hit the post as well in the first half, and he goes down looking for a free kick. Referee Atkinson no more than 10 yards away, didn't think there was anything wrong. Off comes Bravo, playing sweeper keeper and hooking it out for a throw-in. Man was midway inside the Manchester City half on the near side, taken quickly by Salah to Henderson. Back to Salah now as he runs in from the right hand side, and then has to play the ball across the centre of the park, and now it's gone backwards to Virgil van Dijk. Now Wijnaldum to Joe Gomez. Now Trent Alexander-Arnold. Still 1-0 to Liverpool. Audio commentary of the 2019 FA Community Shield alternative commentary as well on the JB Twitch channel, JB Claret Twitch channel, and then the broadcast will be uploaded in full to the JB Claret YouTube channel, where also I will be making a video on the abuse of the comment section. I don't mind comment section anyway. Sterling tries to hunt down Virgil van Dijk after he charged down his attempted clearance. And here come Liverpool once again. Henderson now trying to make something work here. Alexander-Arnold, 1-0 to Manchester City at the moment. Pep Guardiola did pick up a yellow card. He's the first manager, in fact, in British football history, or in the English game, to pick up the yellow card. There's a new ruling now. If the referees now entitled to show managers now yellow cards and red cards if they show any malice or any dissent towards a match official. So new ruling at the start of the season, which is quite an extraordinary thing. And of course England as well in their quest to reach the European Championships. They've got a really easy group in theory, so they should be okay as regards making the European Championships, which both semi-finals and final incidentally will be played here at Wembley Stadium next summer, as the actual championships themselves are actually being played over the actual Europe at the moment. So a corner kick to Liverpool. Trent Alexander-Arnold to take it, right-footed, and from the quadrant, and it's far out. Header one in the area. A little bit of a scrappiness there, and City coolly through Zinchenko gets the ball back to Claudio Bravo, and City quell the danger. No trouble at all. 1-0 is the score. One ball forward, and looking towards the run here of De Bruyne, but well cut out. It's been that sort of an occasion so far. And here's Robertson now, up towards 3/4 of the way up. There was a foul there. The advantage played, and it's Salah now on the right hand side. Into the penalty area he goes, but loses control of the ball. Otamendi got a good tackle in there, kept on his feet as well. Alexander-Arnold keeps it in just shy of halfway on the right hand side. Still in the City off, but now it's gone back to halfway, and Liverpool still in possession. Still a lot of work to do. City have virtually brought all 11 men now behind the ball, as Liverpool look to lay siege to that goal. And here's Henderson now trying to take it down, but he's miscontrolled it, and it allows Zinchenko to get a foot in. But then Henderson got a foot in legally, said the referee, and away we go again. And here comes Walker now to come forward, twists and turns, and finds John Stones, his England colleague, who made that horrendous mistake. You may remember in that Nations Cup semi-final against Portugal, which cost England a place in that final. Portugal went on to win that game. Portugal went on to win the tournament, I should add, 3-1. In fact, it was Holland that we were beaten by, and Portugal won the other semi-final. Portugal went on to win against Holland. And the end in that tournament, it was a good game. It was good, and it's one of our regrets we didn't feature that on the channel, but we would have probably featured the final if England had got there. And just unfortunate the way it all went wrong for us in extra time there during June. Maybe next year will be the year where we do break our duck and reach Wembley and win the Euros in 2020. As I said, the whole tournament has been played over Europe as opposed to in one big country. Maybe it's an experiment by UEFA to try and see how it would work. The format would work. It's gonna take a lot of logistical stuff to get all around Europe to play all the 50 or so matches. That's 58. Play all the 60 odd matches that are going to be played at the tournament next year. And of course we'll have alternative commentary of that tournament next year as well on the JB Clark YouTube channel with myself, Chris Whiteman, Mus Burden, the other two commentators, and the new commentator Mike Harniman, as Firmino goes forward and the ball out of play, and it's a goal kick, or a corner rather, to Manchester City, sorry. John Stones involved. Kyle Walker just knocking that out, and it will be a corner kick to Liverpool. Trent Alexander-Arnold to come across to take it. Just to remind you of the substitutes: Gundogan, Aguero, Angelino, Ederson, Foden and Garcia for Manchester City, Lovren, Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Lallana, Mignolet, Shaqiri and Matip for Liverpool. Right, corner to be taken by Trent Alexander-Arnold. We've had over 11 minutes gone in the second half. Still 1-0 to City. Alexander-Arnold into the penalty area and off the crossbar. Did it cross the line? Well, that will be one for the goal line technology. I don't think it did cross the line. As the ball comes in a second time, Liverpool still might get a chance here. Divock Origi hit the underside of the bar. And Liverpool denied by the crossbar. Remember, they were denied by goal line technology in that second game at the Etihad last season, which contributed to them in the long run losing out on the league title by a single point in the end. If they'd have won that game and if the decision had gone their way, then they may have been champions. But it looked like it was a shot for goal bound by Virgil van Dijk. There was a crowd scene in there. Van Dijk in fact hits it with the left foot. Did the whole of the ball cross the line? That's the question. VAR is in operation, or didn't. There was a bit of, it was part of the ball that was on the line. Remember, the whole ball has to cross the goal line in order it to count as a goal, and the ball hits the line. At least half the ball was over the line, but crucially not all of it was over the line, and I think the angles I've seen it from concur with what I'm saying quite conclusively. Good decision there as the free kick comes in from Alexander-Arnold. Deflects up in the air, falls to Salah in the penalty area. Salah, good control inside the area. Salah gets his shot off. It's the bottom of the right hand post, and it's cleared away by Manchester City. And Liverpool again, for the second time in 3 minutes, have hit the woodwork, and they've been very unlucky. Salah did really well from the deflected free kick, right at the penalty area, right at the D. Gets his shot off from over 25 yards. And did really well with his getting off with his left foot, and very unfortunate. Just hits the bottom of the post. It might have actually hit the outside of the post. Now, this is the goal line technology, and as you can see, no goal according to Hawkeye. Definitely only half the ball crossed the line. It has to cross the whole of the ball. Don't forget, has to cross the line in order it to count as a legitimate goal. So Liverpool were quite rightly denied an equaliser there, but they were very unfortunate, as well as Jordan Henderson argues the case with referee Atkinson. But there's no doubt that the video, that the Hawkeye technology was correct. But Liverpool should be level in this game. They played really well in the second half, and both teams now have hit the woodwork. Liverpool have hit it twice already in this second half, and Raheem Sterling before that, in the third minute of the second half, hit the right hand post of Alisson's goal, and City could have easily gone 2 up at that point. But Liverpool have taken over from there on in and have been the better team. There's no doubt about that. Here's Alexander-Arnold down the right hand side. It's well charged down there by Raheem Sterling, the goal scorer. Could have had 2 there today, Raheem, but he's been playing. But at the moment it's City 1 up, and well, if they were a cap now, they've probably used half their 9 lives at the moment. They must have used up about 4 or 5 already, and that's no lie. As Bernardo was there was a free kick in fact given against Trent Alexander-Arnold on Bernardo Silva. I wonder if he picked up a booking in that. I don't think it's been confirmed as a booking, but Bernardo seems to be okay and back ready to go on again with us. In fact, David Silva is now about to come off. He gives the captain's armband to Kevin De Bruyne, and he makes his way off. Gets a good standing ovation there, David Silva, it's got to be said. And Ilkay Gundogan will take his place for the remainder of this game. So De Bruyne will now take possession, and of course, in 5 minutes from now, if you can be so kind, viewers or listeners, vote for your JB Man of the Match, please. Our supplementary award. In fact, we're not going to bother with JB Man of the Match because it is a big. In fact, it's a big game match and it's a big official match. So the Shield Man of the Match will be decided by the sponsors, I believe. So there's no point in running a JB Man of the Match. We'll point that for all other games apart from cup finals. The flag has stayed down this time. It's Sterling through the centre, and he ran straight into Alisson, and he had ample time to weigh up the options, shoot there, and he did look suspiciously as if he was offside there. Sean Massey kept a flag down, and there's a Liverpool player gone down. Martin Atkinson hasn't spotted it yet. The ball has gone out of play so that Divock Origi can receive treatment, but Raheem Sterling has had 2 gilt-edged opportunities now in the second half. One of them he's hit the post, and one he's gone run straight into Alisson, who came off his line, but he should have shot earlier. There was a potential there of a foul there, maybe on Divock Origi, but as the ball was played through, Sterling is not offside actually. He was definitely on, but he should have shot when he got to the edge of the area for me. Ran it far too far, and he ran straight into Alisson. He's not looking where he's going here, and he's got support to his. He's also got support as well, and he runs straight into the goalkeeper. What an opportunity that was! And Pep will know. Pep will know, but there might have been a foul there on Divock Origi, and Liverpool may have pointed towards that. It did look a bit of a battering ram challenge, it's got to be said there by Otamendi. In the bracket, a free kick's given for that. Origi might make the most of it sometimes, but he certainly wasn't making the most of it there. And somehow or other, maybe justice was served in theory there when Raheem Sterling failed to make it 2 there perhaps. But there you go. So it remains 1-0 to Manchester City. Liverpool though have hit the bar, and they've hit the bar, they've hit the post. Ball hasn't crossed the line. Denied by Hawkeye technology. How ironic is that? Manchester City scored at Burnley last year with a goal that was just about millimetres over the line. Not that I'm bitter or anything, but although Manchester City on balance of play on that afternoon at Turf Moor battered Burnley for the 90 minutes, and we're lucky to come away with a 1-0 defeat from that game anyway. Not that it mattered, because we'd already got enough points on the board to stay in the Premier League at that point. And also, well, as a Burnley fan, I am quite worried. We've got a week to go from the transfer window, and we haven't added in central midfield, which is quite a poor do. And of course, Tom Heaton going. It's not been great news coming out the turf during the week. But get the friendly win against Parma. That's just paints over the cracks. Here's Alexander-Arnold now to Salah, right hand side. Salah now cuts inside. Plenty of opportunity now for Ronaldo now to play the ball back. Gomez is there too. Van Dijk will come forward. His effort hit the bar, remember, and it bounced down on the line. Didn't go over the line. Must reiterate that. 63 minutes gone. Liverpool 0, Man City 1 in the Community Shield. Sponsored, of course, by McDonald's, as it has been now for over 15 years now. It's quite a long sponsorship deal. McDonald's doing quite a lot of grassroots over to promote the game there, and I just wish the Premier League would do more. As Origi tries to turn inside the penalty area, right hand side inside the City penalty area. City making a little bit of a hash attempt to get it away. It's a Liverpool throw in, and Pep has got to watch his step now. If he complains anymore, he will be sent off. He will be shown the red card. He's become the first manager in English football history to be shown a yellow one under these new rules. Ronaldo went down, but the referee not remotely interested in giving Manchester City a free kick there. And it's a close game, a lot closer than the FA Cup final was in May. City were playing a poorer quality with opposition. That's no disrespect to the Watford side. They trounced them 6-0 at Wembley in late May. And it was a comprehensive victory, I seem to recall. It was a great game to commentate on too. Throw into Manchester City. And Otamendi conceding it. We're going to see a double substitution. Nabil Keita is certainly one of them coming on as Jurgen Klopp tries to come from behind in this final. Has never won a major final here at Wembley. Never won at Wembley Stadium in a cup final as a manager. I'd like to put that record to rights here this afternoon in the Community Shield. City, remember, first team to win all 4 of the big domestic trophies in England. Beat Chelsea here a year ago in the Community Shield and beat them comfortably by 2-0. But this has been far from comfortable for City, I can tell you. As the ball was fed forward there by Fabinho, but it's well cut out, and now De Bruyne, the captain, comes forward, and now here's Sterling, whose missed chances could still come back to haunt him despite him scoring after 12 minutes. Quite fortunate, I must say. The fortune's been with Manchester City, that's for sure today. Here come Liverpool though. They played really well here. They deserve something from this match, at least to take it to penalties. We're going to see a couple of changes now. Joel Matip and Nabil Keita will replace Trent Alexander-Arnold and Fabinho respectively. So they've used 2 of their substitutes out of the 7 they were allowed. They've got left, in fact, Lovren, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Lallana, Mignolet and Shaqiri. City have got left Gundogan. We've got left Gundogan, Aguero, Angelino, Henderson, Foden and Garcia. Here's Zinchenko getting it back again. Still 1-0, remember, to Manchester City. That's Raheem Sterling with the goal after just 12 minutes of the first half. In fact, Gundogan is on, I should say. Sorry about that. Gundogan is on. David Silva was the man he replaced. It's been such a high-spirited game and full of incidents. Sometimes you forget at the start of the season that these things do happen. And if the commentary has been a little bit ropey today, it's just early season nerves. It's only our 3rd game back into the season, so we're just trying to get back into match fitness. And of course we'll have Chris Whiteman to come in the commentary box, Russ Burning to return to the commentary box and making his debut this season will be Mike Harniman as well. And of course once the season comes into full swing and we're back on YouTube properly, we'll have Matt Graham aka Panini on live VAR duty as Sterling and Jesus is trying to tangle there with one of the Liverpool defenders, which was Joe Gomez, who's not had a particularly good game really. He's made 1 or 2 errors, but he was strong enough there when Jesus was pulling at his shirt there. It was in fact it was Matip, sorry, not Gomez. Here come Liverpool though. Here's Henderson, the captain. Finds Mo Salah on the right hand side. Salah gets his shot off the near post and well held at the near post. Diving away to his left by Claudio Bravo. Got both hands behind the ball and so showed really good handling skills there. And maybe giving Pep Guardiola a nice little problem here because he's played really well today, Claudio Bravo. His handling, which has been very critical, which everyone's been very critical of, certainly when he came to England some 2 or 3 years ago. This today, at least, has looked very good. 9 attempts to Liverpool to 7 for City, and the attempts 3 on target to Liverpool and 2 to Manchester City. The flag has stayed down against Jesus, who's it's gone up there. Sean Massey there, trying to fool us all again. And well, very touch and go whether that was offside or not, I have to say. But Jesus accepts the decision, gets on with the game. Even if the decision's right or wrong, you just got to accept the decision as final and just get on with the match. It's no point in brooding over it. Still a game of football to be won. Final almost 29 minutes. Sorry, almost 20 and a half minutes to go. 29 minutes, we're way past that mark. 20 minutes left to go at Wembley in the Community Shield of 2019. And the curtain raises to the top level games. So the 2019-20 season, the Premier League restarts next week, and the Football League was back this week, and good to see. 1-0 still to Manchester City. I do keep giving the scores every 5 or 10 minutes. Don't need to ask me, I still give the scores out. That's part of my job. Some of you guys are very difficult to please some days, I must say, and I'm still a bit miffed at you there, Lizard Wizard, for the homophobic comment you made earlier on. I wasn't very impressed with that, and I'm going to have to make a YouTube video about the abuse of the comment section sometimes. That it does border on the realms of stupidity from some of you. And once we're back on YouTube, you won't get away with it, because we'll have 6. Once we're back live on YouTube, there's 6 moderators on YouTube. That includes Russ, Chris, myself, Mike, Panini, and a couple of others as well. Absolutely anonymous as well. 6 moderators when we're back on YouTube. You dare try and make comments like that, and and the comment will be taken away. But anyway, back to the game, and here's Mo Salah. 1-0 to Manchester City, and here's Mo Salah. What a tackle that was by I think it might have been Kyle Walker actually. It was a really good tackle. In fact, it wasn't. It was Otamendi. Sorry. What to tell with these players, it really is. And but it was a great tackle. Jordan Henderson's now gone down, and a lot of the players now in the wars, as it were. Otamendi just making sure of the welfare of the player, and the ball was stepped forward. Salah making the break. Otamendi did really well. Very hard, very difficult to slide in there. Henderson hurt himself in trying to make a tackle there on Ilkvar Gundogan. The good news is that Henderson is fine. There's going to be another change now. You can, I think, use up to 3 or 4 substitutes at a time. I think something like that. I don't know what the rules are on substitutions, because it's once a year this Community Shield, so you can never tell. You never tell with the substitutes. It'll be easier when we're back in Premier League action and all that. We can just stick at the 3 normal substitutes, and that would be a lot easier for me to focus on. As Sterling now plays it inside, and it's De Bruyne. De Bruyne shoots across the goal from the left-hand side of the penalty area, and it's well fielded by Alisson, who's been a virtual spectator for the most of the second half, and then bowls the ball out, and he bowled it rather too hastily there, and in fact a free kick has been given. Has it? The referee's tried to stop it. In fact, it was a free kick to Liverpool, I think he's giving it as. I don't know what the infringement is all about, but the Liverpool have possession. Well, Martin Atkinson's trying to referee the game as sensibly as he can. He's done okay without being spectacularly good, but a lot of the focus will be on the referees again this season. More or less the same batch of referees as we had last season, and 1 or 2 of them did not cover themselves in glory, especially at Turf Moor last season. A certain VAR referee springs to mind. Here's called Anthony Taylor, as the ball is knocked forward by Henderson, but it's well cut out, and now Sterling, whose goal separates the 2 teams, finds De Bruyne. Now in turns tries to find Gundogan, who's run out of pitch, and it's a blow to Liverpool, trailing by a goal to 0 here. Could do with an equaliser. Sterling is now gone down, and we've got a break in place, so we're going to keep you up to date with all the other sport. Remember, Hamilton won in the Grand Prix at the moment, and beats Verstappen. Hearts have gone from 2-1 down to 1 down to lead Aberdeen, and Bristol City leads kicked off 2 minutes into that game at Ashton Gate. Bristol City 0, Leeds United 0. In the cricket, as Sterling is up on his seat again. Sterling has free kick is taken. Australia have just reached 400 for 5 now in their second innings, with a lead of 310 with 5 wickets in hand, and it's looking as if it's going to be a draw or nothing there for England, as Liverpool come charging forward once again now inside the final, almost coming up towards the final quarter of an hour of this Bus Wembley showpiece of the season, the first trophy of the new season up for grabs, the Community Shield, between Liverpool and Man City. Man City leading it by a goal to 0, of course. Raheem Sterling after 12 minutes with the only goal of the game. Still Man City now with De Bruyne. De Bruyne running past his man here, and he's gone past 1, and now a chance now to lay it in again. Sterling rather trying to play it forward to Jesus, but he couldn't succeed, and in the end the attack breaks down, and Liverpool now coming forward, looking to try and snatch an equaliser and take it possibly to penalties. They've got 15 minutes to do that. Otherwise it's City's Shield for another season, and they'll retain the Community Shield once again. Remember, they're defending 4 trophies, a real test of their skills now as a team. To win 4 the domestic trophies is one thing, defending it is quite another, and Liverpool will find that out when they go out to defend the European Cup. The Champions League campaigns for most of the big European teams begin in September, with the start of the group stages, of course, and the draw for that will be made, I fancy, at the end of this month as well, when all the qualifiers are played, and Wolves are still battling on in Europe, looking to go one better than what Burnley did last season and reach the group stage of the Europa. Arsenal and Manchester United are in that automatically as into the group stages of that automatically, and a foul there on one of the Liverpool players, Salah, number 11, tagged by the opposite number, Zinchenko. Clear push in the back of Salah. Free kick to Liverpool on the right hand side. Wembley Stadium is the venue, and we're going to see a triple change from Liverpool. So I think you can make up to 5, maybe 6 changes. Is it in the Community Shield? It's classed as a friendly, but it is competitive. We're going to see Shaqiri. We're going to see Lallana as well. And we'll try and figure out who the other one is as well in a second. Liverpool have a set piece though first, and it's Henderson to take it into the penalty area. Comes out to the far side. Opportunity knocks here, and an equalising goal inside the 6-yard area. And it's one of the substitutes, Joe Matip, from 3 yards out, who makes it 1-1. 13 minutes to play, and Liverpool get what their second half dominance quite rightly deserves. The Wembley Cop goes mad with delight and glee, and Liverpool have got themselves a long overdue and deserved equaliser. 3 kick from Henderson, not really dealt with. Van Dijk knocked it back into the danger zone, and Matip completely unmarked from no more than 5 yards out. Simple header, Bravo no chance, into the net it goes. And it's levels you doubles in this 2019 FA Community Shield, sponsored by McDonald's. It's Liverpool 1, Manchester City 1, and if it stays the same now till the end, we will have a penalty shootout. Great moment for Joe Matip, a Wembley goal for him. Nice way to start the campaign if that's the way it is. So 1-1. And we've got some finish now to this Community Shield. It's been a good game. And we're going to see 3 substitutions. Number 15 is Chamberlain. Number 20 is Lallana. And of course 23 Shaqiri. Firmino is going to come off for Liverpool. And Shaqiri will take his place. That's the first change. So Bobby Firmino comes off. Henderson is the second player being withdrawn. And Divock Origi is going to be the third player drawn. So it looks as if Shaqiri might play. I think Salah might play further forward. Now play more centrally. Shaqiri doesn't strike me as a central sort of striker. And Lallana coming on for Henderson. That's a bit of an odd one there, to be fair. But of course, with it being with Liverpool playing earlier in the weekend, playing on the Friday, I suppose Jurgen Klopp is compelled to make these changes. He has to, really. He's got to give the squad a bit of a run out, and certain players need to be rested. Certainly Bobby Firmino does. But it's 1-1. Joe Matip the scorer, and those 2 missed chances by Raheem Sterling I think have now come back to haunt City a bit. But Liverpool have been the better side in the second half, and with less than just over 10 minutes to play, they surely must be favourites now to win, maybe turn the game around and maybe possibly win it. City's grip on the Community Shield just loosening a fraction. 1-1. And City just losing their discipline a bit over on the far side. Bernardo having a few words to say to the referee. As we go into the closing stages, it was a foul by one of the Liverpool players. Might have been Andy Robertson actually. And they're having a bit of a set to over on that far side a little bit there. But a good game of football. Very enjoyable afternoon's football here at Wembley in the Community Shield. And of course the gate receipts benefits the grassroots game in England, and I think the Premier League, as I say, should do more to promote the grassroots level. It's through grassroots that you get the players of the future. Anyway, here's a chance now for Manchester City, but the referee's gone. Sean Matty flagged. Jesus must have been in an offside position as Messrs Arteta and Guardiola assess what happened there, as Jesus was clearly offside, and the referee was the referee's assistant Sean Massey was quite right to raise her flag. So still 1 apiece, and it's Matip who's just scored for Liverpool. 1 apiece now in this Community Shield. 9.5 minutes to play. Coming up towards 81 minutes of this Community Shield match, sponsored of course by McDonald's. Liverpool 1, Manchester City 1 is the scoreline. Great game here, very enjoyable, good watch. As things stand, if there's no further scoring, and if it ends a draw, penalties will be the decision. And I'm sure Messrs Guardiola and Klopp will have a few penalty takers in mind, should that need arise. But it's the Liverpool fans that are making all the wrecking at the moment, and deservedly so. They played really well in the second half, and maybe if they can win the Shield, it might convince one or two players maybe to come to Liverpool, strengthen their squad that little bit extra, because they're going to be, as well as this competition, they're going to be in the European Super Cup, they're going to be in the Champions League, the World Cup Championships, and not to mention the Premier League, of course, and the FA Cup later in the season, and the League Cup as well. So you're looking at 7 different competitions that Liverpool are going to be playing in, and of course during the month of December, they've got to fly nearly 5,000 miles to the other side of the world, practically to Qatar, to take part in the FIFA World Cup competition, as Qatar prepares itself for that 2022 World Cup, which takes place in just over 2 years' time, in winter time. It should be in the summer. Curse Sepp Blatter for that. Here's Shaqiri now, into the penalty area it goes. Lallana plays the ball back, shot comes in, good save from the keeper. It's a really good save from Bravo to keep City at level pegging in this Community Shield. Keita's shot, and Keita's shot in the end, right-footed. It was a terrific shot. The goalkeeper's actually going the wrong way, but manages to readjust his body to palm the ball away. Got both big hands on that, and it's Liverpool's now, and City are hanging on a bit here. Liverpool are seeming to be the stronger side as we go into the closing stages. Just over 7 minutes left to play plus stoppage time here at Wembley. 1-1. And it's Liverpool now trying to break forward. It's Matip now, the man of the moment. Infield it goes. Adam Lallana takes possession. The substitute plays a wonderful ball out towards the far side now. And Robertson. This really has been a top second half performance. The ball played in there towards Matip from Wijnaldum's ball. Lovely ball in, and there's still a chance there. Was there a chest used? City were claiming handball. It looks as if it was off the left hand side of his chest. Wijnaldum keeps possession, and then the ball ricochets off the referee, but it falls very kindly to Keita, but the referee's blown. And Liverpool have got a free kick, but they had an advantage. And that just sums up the dishonesty and the awful quality of the referees in this country. There was an advantage there. Nothing that Martin Atkinson could have done about that, as we see Keita's effort there, well parried by Bravo. And remember, his body weight's going the wrong way as his body goes one side and his hands go the other. Liverpool will feel justifiably annoyed that they didn't get the advantage they merited. We're going to see a City change. They've been quite mingy on the substitution front today, City. I think Phil Foden is going to be the next man to tread out onto the Wembley turf here in this Community Shield. It's been a good watch. 1-1 it is. 6 minutes just under to go. And here is Matip. 1-1. A good game of football it has been, and it's been very enjoyable here. As things stand, we're going straight to a penalty shootout, and we'll stay right until the end for that. We'll bring you interviews at the end with all the main protagonists, and the Shield left as well at the end. But here's De Bruyne on the near side, I should say, for Manchester City. They're left. De Bruyne gets the ball in, and the ball deflects away from Lallana, and in the end, Gomez can clear away for Liverpool. Now the break is on for Liverpool, and good football again. Lallana bursting down the right, Salah on the right, and it looks as if Salah now will cut inside. Salah tries the shot, deflects, and onto the roof of the net. It deflected off Zinchenko. The left-footed effort just to the right of the penalty area outside from over 20 yards from Mo Salah. Deflects here, and another day that was going over Bravo's head. And he might have been called out just like Muric was, who's on loan for Manchester City at Nottingham Forest. Remember that goal yesterday from Matt Phillips? Almost a carbon copy of that, almost. Matt Phillips' goal was a bit further out than that, on the right-hand touchline. It was. City fans holding their breath, but it's Shaqiri with a corner for Liverpool. Low this time, but it's out again. It's time of throwing the man to Liverpool. 1-1 in the Community Shield. Almost 4 minutes to go, plus any injury time at the end. Probably 2 or 3 minutes perhaps of that. 4 minutes to go of normal time. 1-1. And here comes Gundogan for City, right in trouble here because his ball is given a chance here for Salah, who shoots, and the goalkeeper handles it well. Again, outside of the area, just to the right of the D as he shot it with his left foot. Straight down the keeper's throat, and it's Liverpool now finishing the stronger as we go deep inside the final 4 minutes. Jesus now, City looking very tired now. Looking to slow the pace of the game down. We're still waiting for that substitution to be made at the moment. Pep Guardiola, team well on the back foot here. City keeping possession. We're still waiting to see that substitution made. Looks as if it's Phil Foden is about to enter the frame, possibly. I'm not sure, but here's Liverpool again, and it's Mo Salah inside the area. Good block by Bravo. City all over the place. City all over the place, and Liverpool could have won the Community Shield there and then through Salah. Now at the other end, we've got a break on from Jesus, but what a tackle. What an intervention there by Joe Gomez at the other end. And Liverpool here are not finished yet. There may well be one more dramatic twist in this Community Shield, and what a game it has been, full of high intensity, full of drama, full of incident. And at the moment it's Liverpool's to lose. They are well on top in this game. The ball up forward and hacked away by Nicolas Otamendi that time. Less than 3 minutes to go. Ball through. Can't find De Bruyne. Alisson will be the most relieved man in the stadium right now once Matip equalised. And they've got a player down. And De Bruyne is suffering from cramp. How can you be suffering from cramp at the start of the season? I just don't get these players. They're supposed to be fit enough players, but I don't know. City trying to play up from the back, and they're being exploited. And this may be a danger here. Maybe I was probably a little bit hasty to put Liverpool maybe third in my predictions table to win in the Premier League at the end. Who knows now? They're playing like true champions towards the end here, Liverpool. I'm going to say they are proving me wrong, and we're waiting for that substitution. It looks like Phil Foden is going to come on. Indeed, it is Phil Foden. And De Bruyne is the man he's replaced. I don't know who's taking the captain's armband now. That's just on a postcard. It's all a bit confusing over there. Who's got the armband now? Certainly not Phil Foden. I don't think Sergio Aguero is going to be used at all today. And Andy Robertson and Pep Guardiola, they're having a bit of a set to here, which the referee, which the fourth official there, Stuart Atwell, is getting involved. He's even dropped his he's even dropped his board there as well. So inside the final minute of normal time, we've got probably about 2 or 3 minutes more of possibly stoppages, and then if it's still level, we're going to have a penalty shootout. Unless a goal is scored in the remaining time that is left. We've got about 40 seconds left in normal time. Zinchenko back to Otamendi. Otamendi getting it forward. A little deflection there by Lallana, but it comes to Phil Foden. Good promising midfield player. England international surely of the future. Long ball forward, but it's cut out brilliantly by the evergreen Virgil van Dijk. Mr. Consistency, I call him, really, as far as the Liverpool is concerned. £75 million well spent. Although that record is now being toppled by Harry Maguire's £80 million move from Leicester City to Manchester United. And here's Ronaldo now for Liverpool. On to Shaqiri, the Swiss international, gets Mo Salah on his way. Can Salah keep the ball in before it drifts out? He can. There's going to be 4 added minutes. So I think that's probably just about right from fourth official Stuart Atwell. We haven't really needed VAR too much today. As the throw's going to be taken. So if there's no further scoring in the 4 minutes of stoppage time, and I should also add now 3.5 minutes, I should say. It's a minimum of 4 minutes. Martin Atkinson, the referee, can add on a little bit more time if he so wishes. But at the moment it still remains 1 apiece. And City now try to break forward, and Bernardo might just do that. Can't get Sterling away. Sterling looks absolutely shattered. But this is 2 missed chances that may have come back to haunt City in the long run there. Because they're being held here in a great great Community Shield game. A long ball forward in towards Sterling. Flagger stayed down. Raheem Sterling, edge of the area, tries to get it onto the right foot, goes to the right of the area. Sterling tries to get the crossing, but two Liverpool defenders block the attempted cross, and it's hooked away for a throw-in to City, level with the edge of the Liverpool penalty area there by Andy Robertson. He's picked up a little knock now as we go into the closing stages, and it's City now on the break. And they get a go. No, it's a goal kick. So we've played. This is the goal that might just take us to penalties then. Joel Matip with the header beyond the goalkeeper. Bravo has actually had a good match for Manchester City. He's kept them in it for large periods in the second half. And here's Salah on the break. It's Salah into the area. Salah shoots, blocked, and Salah again on the rebound. Off the line. Did it cross the line? If he didn't, well done, Kyle Walker. That was unbelievable stuff. Salah's first effort was blocked, then he headed it goal bound on the follow-up, and then Walker getting back. Just about got there. There's the header, and just before the line. Great piece of athleticism from Kyle Walker. And he gets it up and over the bar. That was unbelievable defending. Unbelievable. Liverpool close to winning the Shield. Only a corner to show for it. They should be winning this match as far as I'm concerned. City are on the rack here. And are here for the taking, way past the halfway mark of the 4 minutes. Into the area it goes, Lallana goes in. And now Salah chases it on the right-hand side, keeps it in play. Salah crosses from the right-hand side, into the area it goes, and wide. Matip was in there again to feed on anything but Mo Salah. Oh, how unlucky can you get, and how lucky Liverpool are going to be. City are right in there, look, there's no doubt about that. Goodness gracious. This second half has been dramatic. From the first kick to possibly virtually now the last kick, it has been unbelievable. Remains one apiece. How was City still in this game is one of life's greatest mysteries. And the man of the match has gone to Kevin De Bruyne. I'm not certain about I don't know who picks the man of the match, but I'm not sure I would agree with that. I think possibly you've got to look at somebody like Mo Salah and one or two others I think have been more deserving of it. Sterling has had a good game as well. Here's Lallana though for Liverpool, and in towards Salah, inside the area, and a chance here for Shaqiri. Shaqiri shoots and goes to the near post, and Bravo turning out for a corner. We've had the 4 minutes, and I think there's just time for this corner. And if they were relaxed at the start of the game, the two managers, they're not relaxed now, I can tell you. Good ball by Lallana. Salah around the corner. Shaqiri maybe a little bit of an acute angle. You don't expect Bravo to be beaten at that angle. Right hand side corner. It's Shaqiri with it. Last play of the game. In the area it goes, and the referee Atkinson blows for full time, and that's good to see. The two managers hugging and shaking hands with each other, but the story isn't over yet, folks. We're going to have the football version of a Super Over now to decide this Shield. We're going to have a penalty shootout, folks. So, one apiece. And it seemed a long time ago when Raheem Sterling scored for Manchester City after 12 minutes, and then in the final 20 minutes, Joel Matip got the equaliser, making it 1-1. City earlier in the second half had hit the post themselves. Liverpool hit the post and the bar before Matip's equaliser 13 minutes from full time. So we're going to go straight to a penalty shootout. We're going to stay with you now to the end. No breaks now. And, well, it gives us a chance now to check what's been happening elsewhere. Let's just keep you abreast as the teams prepare for the rigmarole of a penalty shootout. So let's just check the cricket. You know Lewis Hamilton's won the Hungarian Grand Prix. So great news for British sport. Not so great news for England cricket, I'm afraid. 414 now for 7, and England trail by 324 and Australia still have 300 and to win, and Wade has just made a century as well. So the pulse card, and in fact Wade's out as well. So the scorecard at the moment for Australia: Bancroft out for 7, bowled Moeen, caught Butler. Warner caught Bairstow, bowled Broad for 8. Karaja, and Andy 40 caught by Bairstow off the bowling of Stokes. Smith out for 142. Caught Bairstow, bowl walks. Travis Head, nice little half century, 51 he made. Caught Bairstow, bowl Stokes. Denley and Stokes combined to get rid of Wade for 110. Denley the catcher, Stokes the bowler. Tim Payne bowled for 34 off Molinelli. And Patterson and Cummins are not out 5. Pattinson and Cummins 1 respectively. The score at the moment in that one is 414 for 7. And it's looking as if now that England might have to bat the whole day to save the match. So not very good news there for England. Smith and Reid really doing well there at the moment, and so far we've been there's been a goal in the game in the Championship at Ashton Gate. Hernandez has scored for one of the favourites to win the Championship, Leeds. Bristol City 0, Leeds United 1. Bristol City have just lost one of their key players to Brighton in the week, and it's not good news for them down at Ashton Gate. Lee Johnson's side trailing to Leeds United. Hernandez, after 26 minutes, has put the Yorkshire side ahead, and they've got to be favourites. They were in pole position to win the Championship last season, and it all went wrong. And of course, more cricket news. The T20 Blast. We've got this game taking place. We've got some games taking place at the moment. Middlesex at the moment needs are playing Somerset. Middlesex made 215 for 4 in their 20 overs. Somerset now need 147 for 7 with 6 overs left, and they've only 3 wickets in hand, but they need another 69 from the last 6 overs. It looks as if Middlesex might get the result there as well. And so, as I say, we'll give you a full rundown of all the other scores later on, and of course now we're going to have the penalty shootout in a second, as the coin toss is now back with us, and we're going to just concentrate on the Community Shield now. We'll have one last check on the cricket before we go, after the Community Shield has been lifted and everything else. And the penalty shootout, the toss has been won. Who's won that toss? Is it going to be down at the Liverpool end? Roger van Dijk seems to think it is down at the Liverpool end. I'm not sure. Usually the toss is usually won, and whoever's kicking at the side where their own supporters are usually tend to go second. Thankfully we haven't got the ABBA system. It's just basically one team after another, which is what it's supposed to be. I prefer the old system to the old ABBA system. And now both goalkeepers, Allison in particular, will get the well, certainly Bravo should be getting these instructions from the referee now. Don't move off the line before the kicker kicks the ball forward towards you. But goalkeepers are a sly, cunning sort of breed, where they will use every trick in the book to move off the line. Our Schumacher in '82 was one prime example, when he moved a good couple of yards off the line to save 3 France penalties in that semi-final. He should have been sent off that evening when he almost killed Patrick Battiston, and I mean killed, and I use the word very strongly. Anyway, it's a penalty shootout, and we're going to start the penalty shootout. Liverpool are going to go first, and it's Shaqiri is going to be the first to take, and Liverpool have won both the toss for the end and first penalty, so that could be a very good advantage here for Liverpool, but I don't want to put the kiss of death on that. Cardio Bravo, who's played really well in the Manchester City goal, will face up first, and Shaqiri getting the final word of instructions from Martin Atkinson, our referee today. He's refereed it fairly well, but not spectacularly well. So just to remind you of the rules of the shootout: five penalties each. If it's level after 5, sudden death, 1 scores, next miss, that's it. So we find a winner. It could go a long way as regards that. So Shaqiri then came on as a second half substitute. Could well be a left-footed penalty. Strides up left-footed, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way into the right-hand corner, and Liverpool draw first blood in the penalty shootout. They lead 1-0 against Manchester City. Good penalty that, and the penalties, just to remind you, have been taken to the right as we see that confident left-footed penalty going straight into the right-hand corner. The goalkeeper goes the opposite way to the ball, and 1-0 to Liverpool. So Manchester City go second. And now they've got to face the bird from the Liverpool fans. And it's Ilkay Gundogan, the former Borussia Dortmund player, who once scored a penalty in the European Cup final for Jurgen Klopp once upon a time. Right-footed penalty against Alisson. And this time goes in the opposite corner, the left-hand corner, to where Shaqiri put his penalty. And it's 1-1 now in the shootout. Corners personified from Ilkay Gundogan. 1-1. And now the cheers go up as Liverpool prepare to take their second penalty. Bravo will face up once again. Well, no opportunity here to make it 2-1. It's right-footed and it's saved by Bravo to deny Ronaldo. Right-footed penalty, didn't look confident. And Liverpool missed the first penalty in front of their own fans. Bravo makes the save. And it's advantage Manchester City. They could dance across the line. Now, did he move early? No, he didn't. It was too close to the goalkeeper, in fairness to Ronaldo. Didn't hit it true enough, I don't think. And it was a comfortable save for Claudio Bravo. Meanwhile, Bernardo, short run up, left-footed, scores into the right-hand corner. 2-1 to City now. So they've turned that one-goal deficit, and now they lead by 2-1, and haven't missed a penalty yet. And some will say that City are very lucky to be, or fortunate in a lot of respects, to be still having this penalty shootout. Now Liverpool must score the next one to keep their chances alive. It's Adam Lallana, I think, who's going to take it. But he has to score now. Right-footed, and it is a Lallana actually. Now Bravo dances across his line. Lallana will shoot up a little bit short up a run-up, but shoots, and he's gone into the left-hand corner. The goalkeeper went the same way as the ball, but the ball beat him to it, and it goes into the left-hand corner, and it's 2-2, but City have a penalty in hand. And I think he might have got a little feather on that, the goalkeeper. He was very close to saving that. He was unlucky there, Bravo. Now Phil Foden, the young England man, has got a chance now to show what he's about from 12 yards. Widely tipped as an England midfield maestro of the future. Short run up, left-footed, and he sticks it into the right-hand corner with some ease and some aplomb, I must say. That was a confident penalty from Phil Foden, a terrific penalty. And it's 3-2 now to Manchester City. Really good penalty, confidence personified. Has got big game experiences with England under 17s, winning the World Cup a few years ago. Now Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, son of course of Mark Chamberlain, the a great footballer himself in his day. Now he really must score now. If Liverpool miss and City score, that's it. So a shortish run up, right-footed penalty from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Runs up, slowest run up, shoots, and it goes into the left-hand corner, sends Bravo the wrong way. It's 3 apiece, but City have that penalty very much in hand. And now all they've got to do, City, is just make sure that they stick the rest of their penalties away, and they'll retain the Community Shield. So 3 apiece, but City have that penalty in hand, don't forget. And now the next penalty is to be taken by Zinchenko. He was certainly in the action today. Some fans can't look. It's not the FA Cup final, folks. It's only the Community Shield, but it means a lot to the fans to see a team lift the trophy. Anyway, Zinchenko left-footed. Alisson can dance across his line, remember, can't move off it. Zinchenko runs up, left foot, shoots, and it's, oh, I thought for a moment the goalkeeper got hands to it, and he almost kept it out. It goes in the right-hand corner, but he dived away to his left there, the goalkeeper, and the ball nestles in the right-hand corner, but he almost saves it there. He's very unlucky, and Zinchenko, a very lucky man indeed, but what it means now is Liverpool must score their next penalty, and they have to score now. If Mo Salah fails, it's over. Final kick for Liverpool. If they score, and then they've got to depend on Alisson to bail them out, but Salah must do his bit. Otherwise it's another miserable Wembley showpiece occasion for Jurgen Klopp. He comes up, left-footed shoot, and it's gone in the left-hand corner, and Bravo again almost got there to it. He went to his right and almost got there, but the ball goes in the left-hand corner, but still City have one more chance to win it after the regulation 5. If it's saved, if Alisson saves now, or the shot or the effort goes over, we go into sudden death. But if this goes in from City, it's all over. Bravo will hope he doesn't have to face another one, that's for sure. It's been a great day. So a penalty. So City must score this final penalty as the ball goes in, and it's gone in from Gabriel Jesus. And City make it 5 out of 5 and retain the FA Community Shield. Gabriel Jesus, right-footed penalty into the left-hand corner. And City make a successful defence of one of their 4 trophies they won last season. They retain the FA Community Shield. But I think on balance of play, they don't really deserve to, because they were second best throughout the most of the second half, and Liverpool deserved it more on the day, I felt. But when it came to the nitty-gritty, Liverpool just couldn't raise their game enough for the penalties, but they'll be there or thereabouts. Liverpool have nothing to feel ashamed about. City got away with it, in my opinion. They were not the better team on the day, but Claudio Bravo was the difference in the shootout, but Liverpool deserved far more than the result suggested. But it's City who get away with it again and come away with the spoils, and Raheem Sterling will feel a lot more vindicated now. His 2 missed chances didn't come back to bite him ultimately. But plenty of questions still need to be asked from Pep Guardiola about the character of his squad, because in the second half they really did crumble, and I felt they were very fortunate to reach penalties. And Liverpool hit the post, and the bar at least would definitely hit the woodwork on no more than 3 occasions. City did hit the post themselves. It was a good penalty from Jesus, and well, the goalkeeper just couldn't quite get there. So maybe on balance the best team may not have won the Community Shield, but you can't question Manchester City's commitment. They were very good on the penalties, but second half they were dreadful, and we're very lucky not to lose that final, to lose the game today. But in the end, they get the result, they get the penalty shootout win, and they'll take the Shield back to the Etihad Stadium. So plenty for food for thought. So Liverpool, I still feel, need to strengthen as regards squad depth, because I still think they're a bit short in certain areas. But today, they still prove they have the X factor as well as far as big match experience is concerned, and they certainly won a lot of admirers and a lot of friends for the way they played throughout this afternoon, Jurgen Klopp's men. But his unfortunate Wembley record in major showpiece occasions continue. No trophy in 4 or 5 attempts now. He's lost out in the European Cup final. He's lost a couple of times in the League Cup final, and of course he's missed out here today. One day he'll break that Wembley hoodoo in a major final, and who knows. But it's City who take the first major piece of silverware. There is a bit of silver on the Community Shield, I should add, and they'll receive that in a second or two from Greg Clark. Hopefully we'll get some interviews before then as well. But well, at least it's all ending on a very friendly terms. There's no animosity anyway, and that's good to see. And Pep Guardiola will be a very relieved man. His team really didn't perform as much as they should have done really on the day, but there you go, it's just one of those things. And we're going to join Des Kelly now, who's got 2 of the protagonists with him, Kevin De Bruyne being one of them.
It was always going to be down to a close contest and all the way to penalties.
Yeah, it was a really tough game, you know. You can still see that it's like early pre-season for the 2 of us. It's a real open game. I think both teams are not physically ready yet with all the players coming back. But it's nice to see the competition, you know. We're going to fight each other this year again, and it's what it's all about.
Was it a sense that City faded in the second half and Liverpool upped their game? Because you had pretty much controlled in the first half.
Yeah, but it's always going to be tough, you know. There's moments in the game that we're going to control, there's moments that they're going to control, especially in this type of this moment in the season. But I think we defended well at times. We could have scored, they could have scored, so it was a really open game.
Kyle, people say this is just a curtain raiser of the season, doesn't mean anything. It looked like it meant a lot out there today.
No, of course, it's the first trophy you can win. For me, growing up, the Community Shield was a big one. It starts off the season, it can start off our momentum, and hopefully we can replicate what we did last season.
And of course, it was won by penalties, but your clearance off the line was a game changer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a defender, I stop goals, so I'm glad I could help the team out this time. He's helped me out all the time by scoring, so that one's for them.
Is this going to be the story of the season? Liverpool, Manchester City, this close all the way through?
I think it's too early to say. There's a lot of good teams in this league, so hopefully we can be there and thereabouts. That's what we're going to try for every day in training and compete in all competitions.
What sort of percentage are we looking at now, Kevin? Because you're talking about fitness, you're talking about that sort of game sharpness. Premier League starts this weekend. You're at West Ham. How far away are City right now?
Well, the good thing is we always play the same system, and we know what we have to do and the style we play. But obviously, some guys just came back 2 days ago. The other of us train 2 or 3 weeks. And pre-season is there's more commercials these days than it is training. So I think the month of August is really important to get your fitness up, to get game time, because for most of the guys it was the first 90 minutes of the season. So it was a really important game in that sense.
Glenn Hoddle in the commentary box has spoke to you about it. We're actually going to bring in Thomas Woodrow. You're the FA's grassroots supporter of the year. Congratulations. That's a great honour. Will you do the honours and present that for Kevin?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well done, John. Thank you.
So in fact it was Glenn Hoddle, the television pundit, who's given the man of the match. I'm not sure I'd agree with him, and I expect Glenn Hoddle as a pundit, but I'm not sure Kevin De Bruyne would have been my choice for another match. I'd have probably given it to Virgil van Dijk or somebody like that, or Mo Salah. I thought he had a good game, and I thought Raheem Sterling played probably a bit better than what De Bruyne did, but well, there you go. He's the man in the match, and in a moment or two we'll get the presentations, but yeah, you could tell by what we were telling you there that the players really wanted to take it seriously today. And Kyle Walker, the other guy in the interview I forgot to mention, made a very important point that this is a big game. Doesn't matter whether it's a pre-season curtain raiser or not, it's still a big game, and nobody wants to see them lose. And in fact the shirts they're wearing are marking the 125th anniversary of this great club, and which has had so many ups and downs during the years. It's hard to think that 20 odd years ago they were battling to get out the third tier of English football. That's how it has been for Manchester City. It's always been up and down, and we're going to have the presentations now. The referees and the officials, all of them, are going to go up. The likes of Martin Atkinson, Sean Massey, Dan Cook and Stuart Atwell, amongst 4 of them, are going to receive their commemorative medals for officiating in the Shield. And they'll go up the royal box to receive those honours from Greg Clark, the chairman of the Football Association. Liverpool will not be too disappointed. They've had a good workout, but they'll feel a little bit aggrieved they didn't win the Shield after 90 minutes. I think they probably deserved it on that plus point anyway. But there we go. It's just one of those things. So City the winners. I'm not sure if I agree with Des Curley's assessment whether City were the better team after 45. I thought it was a little bit even Stevens after 45, I have to say, despite City winning. But Liverpool was certainly much the better side, and I suppose Kyle Walker's contribution to the day can't be underestimated, because he made a superb goal line clearance as Liverpool Mo Salah right at the end of the game. That was a remarkable piece of athleticism. It must be said. But a good game, very enjoyable to watch as a neutral and as a spectator, and we're going to see Liverpool go and receive their little mementos from Greg Clark, their medals. Proudly up by Jurgen Klopp. So the European champions just come up short in the end, certainly in the penalty shootout, but in the game itself they didn't let anybody down. They were superb in the second half, I thought, and probably on balance of play. If I was judging it after 90 minutes, if it was on boxing, I would have certainly given it Liverpool on points. But they lost the penalty shootout. Someone had to lose. Unfortunately, it was Liverpool. There were one missed penalty out, or maybe winning the Shield. But you can't deny the ruthlessness of Manchester City's penalty taking. They were absolutely unstoppable, and Alisson got to a couple of them, but the penalties were just too ferocious, too much ferocity on them, and for Alisson Becker to keep out as the Liverpool team make their way up. It's always very difficult when you're boss, but Virgil van Dijk looks quite chilled out as he goes up the 107 steps, and yeah, there's one or two smiles. It's not all about. It's about sometimes you've got to look at the bigger picture as regards to Community Shield. It's a great trophy to win, but it's also benefiting all these grassroots communities. Which is what the match is all about. And to see two of the best teams in the country and possibly in Europe battling it out for it, and to actually take the game absolutely seriously was good to see, and it was good for football. And really, Manchester City aren't the true winners at the end. Maybe football itself is the true winners, and of course Gareth Southgate would have seen a few of his England charges in both sets of squads, and I'm sure he would have been impressed with some of them out on display this afternoon. He's also in the stadium today. It's Greg Clark, the chairman of the Football League, and Mike Summerby there, the legend who might actually present the trophy at the end. Well, he's also there as well. A great ambassador to the football club, a former Manchester City player himself, of course. His son Nicky, I think, also played for City when they were struggling at the end of the 1990s and into the 2000s. Jordan Henderson, the last man to receive his medal. So Manchester City will now go up now and receive the shield. Jurgen Klopp, he looks very chilled out. There'll be a bit of disappointment in his body, I'm sure, but the real work for Liverpool will start on Friday night against Norwich. Again, you can hear live on the Twitch channel and then later on YouTube. That's this game, of course. Manchester City make their way up the 107 steps. It won't feel quite as weary for them. And there's that beautiful Community Shield glistening in the daylight. There's Greg Clark and Mike Summerby there. Mike Summerby, a real ambassador to Manchester City. There's Edison, who didn't get on. He's even signing an autograph. And it's nice to see some of the players signing autographs despite going up the 107 steps to receive their medals and the shield itself. There they go now, all of them. They'll receive their medals and the shield. Now, they won 4 trophies last year. The Community Shield was one of those 4, and they probably didn't deserve to win it on the balance of play this year, but they were certainly ruthless. They had a good spells in the first half. They had a decent spell at the start of the second half, and then Liverpool really took the game on from there on in. But then when it went to penalties, they redeemed themselves in the grand manner, and Grailio Bravo really made it pay there as he goes up the 107 steps. He was the true hero today for Manchester City, saving that penalty, but also the penalties for Manchester City were surefire shots, which gives them the FA Community Shield again for the second year in a row. And they'll now go up now to receive the trophy. Sergio Aguero didn't get on at all today, which actually quite surprised me a bit. Maybe they're saving the Argentine really for the bigger tests ahead, and they kick off their campaign next Saturday lunchtime, a week, 6 days time, against West Ham at the London Stadium. So they've got another trip to London next week to play West Ham United. That should be something to look forward to there. I'm certain about that, as Pep Guardiola has not gone up the stairs. He's letting the players have all the standing ovations as Edison receives his medal. Didn't get on, of course. He was the unused substitute goalkeeper. It looked like Gundogan there too. Of course, Otamendi, of course. He had an okay game. Didn't think he was anything spectacular. Certainly Kyle Walker was at the back end of the second half, where his heroics kept City in it. Phil Foden going through there. John Stones tear too. Some of the City coaching staff as well going up to receive their mementos as well. Kevin De Bruyne going through. Zinchenko going through. As they all shake hands, and Greg Clark there, the chairman of the Football Association, and Mike Summerby, a proud City man through and through, proudly handing out the medals. He's done a lot of handing out of trophies to this all-conquering, unstoppable Manchester City team over the last few years. David Silva, the first match as captain, and he gets a trophy to lift right at the start of his tenure as captain, taking over from the legend that was Vincent Kompany, who's now left these shores to manage in Belgium, of course, with Anderlecht. He's not made such a good start there, however, but he'll soon get the knack in the end as David Silva and Sergio Aguero both received the Community Shield from Mike Summerby, and will lift it aloft. Manchester City win the Community Shield for 2019. It wasn't a pretty way in which to win it, but they've won it in the end. They made it hard work for themselves, but they've won it in the end, and that's even winning it without playing well, certainly in the second half when they were right up against it. And the true man that lifts the trophy, the true hero really, was Claudio Bravo, who saved one of those Liverpool penalties which more or less handed City the shield in the end. Not to mention those 5 penalties, 100% out of 100%. And in the end the shield was decided after the statutory 5 penalties each. The Liverpool end is absolutely gone on. Why the supporters do not stay to applaud the team up the road box, I will never know. I find that very hard to believe. There we go. So City will enjoy the moment for all it's worth. It's been a remarkable day here at Wembley Stadium, and well, there we are. We're just about out of time, folks. It's been a great afternoon's football here at Wembley Stadium. The Community Shield's absolutely got us all buzzing for the start of the season. Our coverage will start on Friday night with kick-off at 8 o'clock at Liverpool at Anfield as they take on newly promoted Norwich. Can they bounce back from their disappointment this afternoon? But the story here is that despite Liverpool playing well, they come up second best against this dogged and determined Manchester City side. 1-1 it finished after 90 minutes. And Manchester City take home the Community Shield 5-4 on penalties. I hope you very much enjoyed the commentary here from Wembley this afternoon, and we'll see you all again on Friday evening for Liverpool against newly promoted Norwich from Anfield. But until then, from me, JB, have a great weekend. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a great week, and we'll see you all again for the start of the Premier League season on Friday night. But until then, take care, and I wish you all the best. Good night.